sang, come on somebody, why don't you run? Old Red's itching to have a little fun. Get my lantern, get my gun, a little heavy treat for the morning come. Now old Red got real used to seeing his lady every night. And so I kept him away for 3 or 4 days and waited till the time got right. Well, I made my run with the evening sun, and I smiled when I heard him turn red out. 'Cause I was headed north to Tennessee, and old Red was headed south. And the woman sang, come on somebody, why don't you run? Old Red's itching to have a little fun. Get my lantern, get my gun, Red'll have your treat for the morning come. Now there's red-haired blue ticks all in the south. Love got me in here and love got me out.
And now you're kissing 99.
The Clingstones play here. Sportsvisions 92.1. You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Good Thursday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones' baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones, the Thrifter. We call him, of course, his name is, well, first of all, he is the grandson of Coach Larry Bush. Thrift Behringer, good morning. How are you?
Great morning, DJ. Ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll. Enjoyed the heck out of the call yesterday of the middle school championship. You, Richard, and Coach T-Flo did the damn thing, man. I loved it.
Had a lot of fun, and those Rothschild Falcons, they would hold off Aaron Cohn in a class.
Hip, hip. And we call him the Swiss Army knife. He's better known as Richie Rich, but his government name is Richard Holdridge. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, DJ. I also had a lot of fun on the call last night with Thrift and Terrence, and it was just a great night, and congratulations to the Rothschild Falcons.
Absolutely, man. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and again, it was just by happenstance. I was just sharing with you, Richard. I was making my way over to Otis Spencer yesterday and got up to the gate there, and there was no pass gate. So I said, all right, that's cool. That gave me even more reason to watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Wish I did, and man, I'm glad I did. So I just went to the house and sat in front of the fireplace and listened and watched you guys on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And man, what a game! What a game! That Thrift, out of all the great high school games, I don't think there had been one this side of the Carver-Sumter game that could match that. Out of all the games you guys have done, and I know you probably have done about 2,500 this year, but that game last night will stick out in my mind for a while.
No, it will, man, and the attendance was absolutely phenomenal. It was standing room only on one side, and almost halftime, people were still coming in. The lines were super long. Support was incredible last night, and it was one of the top games we have done for sure.
Absolutely. And again, I was telling Richard as well that, coming into the stadium, I only live about 15 minutes or so, maybe 12 minutes, so maybe a 20-minute walk from Otis Spencer on the other side of St. Mary's Road on North Oakley. But coming into the stadium, it was I got over in the Holly Hills and got to make the turn on the LI Drive, which is probably about 3 blocks from the stadium. Cars were backed up, and it was about 5:45, actually 5:45 then. But after I'd parked and got in and went up to the gate and found out that, hey, look, I need to make a choice and make a decision, and the decision was, but coming out of there, people coming in, I looked to my left down Casita Road. I looked down to my right down Casita Road, as far as you can see traffic. And then when I go up across and go down Allied Drive over into Holly Hills, there's got to be 100 cars back to back to back to back trying to get in there. And I guess I heard you guys talking about the end result, but there was no shot of the crowd. But I mean, it had to have been the biggest crowd that we've seen over there in some while.
Yeah, it was for sure, man. And there were a ton of people. They decided to put all the fans on one side. Maybe next time we have fans on both sides, whoever's home and whoever's away. Because again, we talked about it yesterday. You really couldn't see them, and then afterwards, there's trash talking. Just nothing happened. But to avoid stuff like that, maybe you should split the fans up.
Our guy, our daddy ball, who has the daddy ball title, Tim Woodsman, he posted something this morning, said something about, you know what, got to do something about the traffic over there, because he said there are people right now worried about getting to work. They're still in traffic over at Otis Spencer Stadium trying to get out of there.
Yeah, no doubt. And it is, listen, it's the traffic in the stadium, and then, of course, the road work and everything outside the stadium just makes for a chaotic, for sure, with events like that.
But all the, whatever you got to say, the bottom line was it was a ball game. Congratulations to Coach Corey West and the Rock Boys, man. I tell you what, we're going to be that's going to be something you're going to see on T-shirts. You're going to see it on post. The Rock Boys, and it came relevant yesterday when, of course, Corey made it known that he canned that slogan, that he, when he took over the job, he had to think of something that would stick. And man, did it stick. Not only did it stick, but his ball club went out and played an exceptional game. But before we get into more of the heavy lifting, let's go ahead and say hello to everybody out there in Facebook land who's joining us this morning, and also YouTube. We appreciate the opportunity to help you get your day started. We don't take it for granted. All we ask you to do is to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend that the Sports Visions morning show is on the air now. And for all of our friends out there in WLTC HD2, Sports Visions 921 land, we love you, but it ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Hello, somebody.
Guys, let's get this party started. Also, congratulations to the Central Red Devils Lady Flag football team, back-to-back state champions. Man, we got Pacelli back-to-back. We got Central back-to-back. Coach Holt, tried to get him on this morning, and he's got a route that he does a bus route, but obviously, hopefully, we'll have an opportunity. He'll break away if he can. If not, we'll figure out a way to get him on. But in the meantime, we got some great people that will be on with us today. Matt Stewart, another one of the GPB talents that we see during this time of year, especially with all of the great high school football going on all over the state of Georgia. Georgia Public Broadcasting, of course, this is their sports department. Matt Stewart is a legend, and of course, he is highly acclaimed with all the stops that he's made, Richard.
Yeah, 57-game win streak. They had just a dominant game against Vestavia Hills, and I believe this makes 3 in a row for Coach Holt and the Central flag football team. But yeah, they started things off at Protective Stadium. They were the afternoon game. As obviously we had Thompson and Opelika. That was the nightcap. As the Super 7 starts this week at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, and the Central Lady Red Devils are able to get the job done.
Matt Stewart will start us off, and then, of course, Coach Michael Kinsey, the flag football coach up at Harris County, and Thrift, you are very close to him.
Yeah, he's just took over the program this year, and Rick Beach is talking about how great of a job he's done in his first season. They've played several top 10 teams. They got a quarterback that's thrown 75 touchdowns this year, and they're averaging about 33 points a game. We look forward to having Coach Kinsey on, whose first season as Harris County's flag football coach.
Guys, with these wonderful football teams that have won state championships and made playoff appearances, we never really get into the nuts and bolts, and we just assume that they just kind of like backyard balls. But I want to get into, especially when we get Coach Kinsey on, to talk about, some of the philosophies and, the schemes, and are there, do they have to watch film, or is it any, what do they have to prep for on offense? Is it just go out and like when we were kids, or is it a little bit more strategy? I know there's more to it, but we haven't really talked to any of the coaches. And again, we got 2 great state championship teams that we have been around now for the second year in a row. So I think that it's fair for us to start, asking some of the same questions that we ask some of the male boys football coaches.
Yep.
Because these teams are the best of the best, hands down. I mean, coming in back-to-back state championship for Central Red Devils, Lady Red Devils, and back-to-back champion for, of course, St. Anne Pacelli Lady Vikings.
Yeah, it's a great job. Actually, it's 4-peat now for Pacelli, and we got Columbus and Harris County. Both those teams have a chance as well to maybe win a championship, Rich.
Wonderfully said. Anyway, Lou Nunnally also, who is, these guys, Joey Browning, who is obviously a mainstay, and again, a lot of folks, a lot of the coaches know him as a sporting goods consultant. Lou Nunnally is another one of those names that's synonymous in this community. He has done business with all of the coaches for over the years, and these old coaches out there like, well, that's Lou. Lou's going to be on. Well, yeah, he's going to be on. But Lou is now a Hall of Famer in his own right, and he's doing a lot of other philanthropic things down in his hometown, Thomasville, Georgia. But I caught up with him about a couple of weeks ago, and I said, Lou, we got to come on, and I told him what we were doing with the morning show and how successful it's been with a lot of the old guys that have come back to tell about what they've done and what they're doing now. And of course, Lou was one of those guys, been with Reebok for several decades. He was the Reebok rep in this area back when Reebok was relevant, Thrift. And I know when you talk about, one of the guys that is a sports consultant, sporting goods manufacturers and equipment, these coaches, they kind of, the hair stands up on the back of their neck because these are some of the best relationships that you can have because, not everybody has the same budget. Some guys, but these guys can make your life really, really easy. Of course, they'll giving you time to raise money, even when you need to order your equipment, ahead of time. But guys like Lou, I'm looking forward for him coming on to talk about some of the great relationships that he has established over the years and all the wonderful things that he's doing right now. Yeah, well, I look forward to hearing from him too, DJ. Those guys love their equipment, man, and that's what Lou is. Absolutely. Richard, I tell you, man, I saw, again, for you guys, at first I was worried. I was like, man, Coach T. Flo, Thrift, and Richard all in the booth, there's not enough microphones. But you guys, it was a work of art. I mean, it was just wonderful how you guys respected each other's thoughts and were able to, pause and of course, let the other guys say what he had to say. And Coach T-Flo, he threw a whole new vibe on that broadcast, man. So I tell you, man, no matter how much you like sports, everybody's not going to give it to you the same way. But you guys made that doggone, that was a choir. That was an all-star choir. Well, we had a lot of fun in doing it, DJ. And so glad that we were able to work together, work hard, and Terrence did an always amazing job keeping up with these kids, and it was good for the city. And glad we were able to do it. Richard, how'd you think about what you think about it?
Well, I thought the broadcast was fantastic, but I do want to say something with Georgia Alabama Sports Live and CGY Sports collaborating. It was something that needed to happen. I mean, I know that we've been competitors in the past, and we appreciate everything that Terrence Flowers has done for CGY Sports, and he's really paved the way for streaming. But to have the three of us on the broadcast was absolutely amazing. And I was enjoying, being that second color guy. I would chime in with some sports trivia every now and then because, that's my thing, DJ. That's what I try to do. Yep. But I just enjoy just listening to Thrift do play-by-play and Terrence Flowers come in with just that passionate color commentating because, he knows these middle school teams. He's been calling middle school football for years now. And just to have that chemistry, and it worked to have three broadcasters on the broadcast. It sounded great and it worked, and we made it work.
What makes it sound great is hearing your audience. And again, I know that even from reading some of the chats, there were a lot of folks enjoyed that. So shout out to you guys. Great job. And again, this is something, Richard, you and I we talked about earlier here probably before going on the air. Think about all the things. And Thrift, I think you and I talked about it yesterday. When you talk about having an opportunity, 20, 30, 40 years from now for the kids to come back and those kids now that would be men and grandparents and fathers and all of that good stuff to be able to show people not only the actual games, but clips and highlights called by professionals. It's amazing what's going to be in store. So again, some 6th, 7th, and 8th graders now, boy, think about 20, 30 years from now, what they have to show their people. 100%, man. That's exactly why we do what we do, so they can go back and rewatch this championship game over and over again. So it was a lot of fun last night, and glad that we were able to be in attendance. There were a lot of people there last night for sure. Can we get a count? Do we have anything official? Can somebody somebody text Kendall Mills and find out? Because I'm sure he has an understanding of, again, especially again, no pass gates, no teachers getting in for free, no media getting in for free. It was just a gate, one gate and one gate only. And boy, I tell you what, that was a hell of a deal. It 100% was. It caught you guys off guard.
No, it was great. That was a great crowd.
But text them. Somebody text them. We'll find out. Because again, I want to. That's a historic crowd over there. The whole side was full. We understand that the people were all the way up near the press box, so that was in the upper deck of Otis Spencer Stadium. So be eager to know what count did they have? And then, for that matter, the capacity, the official capacity of Otis Spencer Stadium would be definitely something that we could share with everybody. All right, let's go ahead and take our first break of the day. You're watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. 32-year-old Marquez Holloway, a repeat offender, faces a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison after he was found guilty of one count of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute methamphetamine, cocaine, and marijuana. Meanwhile, more police officers in Columbus are on patrol this holiday season as an effort to hold back crime in the city. Police reportedly say there is a 27% decrease in violent crimes year to date. In Alabama, state leaders are speaking out about the denied proposed plan to relocate the Islamic Academy of Alabama. The academy says the plans were unrelated to zoning and reflect harmful stereotypes. The academy remains open to continue dialogue regarding traffic safety and land use concerns. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Thursday morning. We're off to an overcast and cold start to the day. Those temperatures hovering in the mid to low 30s. The rain returns today, keeping afternoon temperatures limited to near 50 degrees. Tonight, those showers will continue, lows falling into the 40s. And guess what? More rain in the forecast for your Friday. Some of the showers could be heavy at times, and we'll keep the rain in the forecast for Saturday before it starts to slowly taper off by late Sunday. More sun, though, in the extended forecast.
Attorney advertising, Georgia. Attorney 770, good law car accident lawyers. Pay after dramatization. Hot dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
I get a call from my wife. She tell me she just seen the dog on TV. I'm like, what dog? She said, Top Dog. He was on TV. I said, what was he doing? He was walking around. He tried to bite somebody. I'm like, what? She said it was a commercial on TV. They actually showed the dog. It was Top Dog. I know what I see. I'm not seeing things. I know what I see. He was big, very aggressive. He was fast. That was Top Dog. That was Top Dog. Bit one of them insurance companies. I seen it. It was on TV. I'm convinced now. If I get into an accident, that's who I'm calling. Should have seen the dog. Very big. Very scary. Very scary. Any accident, you make the call. You call the dog. You call the dog. Top Dog Law.
Corey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
The holidays are here, and Gory's Furniture Express is your holiday shopping headquarters. With over 106,000 square feet of in-stock merchandise, you'll find something for everyone on your list, with special savings throughout the store on lamps, rugs, recliners, tables, and more. And that's only at Gory's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika. Merry Christmas.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-578-3203. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-578-3203. That's 800-578-3203. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
We're always going a million different directions.
But Kinetic Credit Union makes it easy for all of us to stay connected, all in one place.
With the Kinetic mobile app, we both can monitor our accounts on the go. We can create account alerts so we know when there's a change. Apply for a loan or credit card. We can even open a new account.
Plus, you can quickly pay bills, transfer money, or make a deposit anytime, anywhere.
Kinetic makes our life a whole lot easier.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sportsvisions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Good Thursday morning. It's a great day for a great day. And it's Throwback Thursday, Richie Rich. Obviously, you better stay on your toes. I'm going to come at you and find out what one of those throwback. Matter of fact, I'm going to just do it right now. Let's go through it. Throw it back to basic training. Back in the first day, do you remember the first day that you had to go out for PT?
Ooh, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting yelled and screamed at by drill sergeants, only getting like an hour of sleep. Oh, it was a nightmare. I wanted to quit that day one. I wanted to quit. I was like, what did I sign up for? I can't believe this is not my thing. I am not going to be joining the Army. I'm done. And then I stuck with it. I just got there was some motivation inside me to get, but it felt like that for the first couple of weeks, because they have different phases of basic training. They got the red phase where they have like the shark attack and they break you down and you don't get anything, no freedom, nothing. And then, they kind of let off a little bit towards the end. But yeah, it was a nightmare.
How old were you?
I was 23 years old.
23 years old. That method used to work in coaching as well. Coaches bring you in to training camp and, let the upperclassmen kind of, haze you, because they break you all the way down and then they build you all the way back. Well, that doesn't work today. These kids are different. They're different.
No.
Yeah, 100% different. They're not built for taking on the hard-nosed, rough and tough coaching that is needed in your life, that has helped formulate and shape me, myself as well, y'all too. So you're right about that, DJ.
All right, Thrift, you ready? I got one for you. Throwback Thursday. And again, for whatever reasons, your memory is as photographic as it is, but when it comes to you and your feats in athletics, it's always it's kind of puzzling. But I know you remembered the first time that you were able to touch the rim.
Yeah, I was junior or senior in high school.
Junior or senior. He can't say which one. It's always fuzzy for him.
Yeah, because touching the rim was never a big deal. I mean,
never a big deal. When you couldn't dunk, touching the rim wasn't a big deal.
I mean, I like doing that, but then I would go and my friends like Jabari Clemens, Cam Baker, flushing it down the drain. For me to touch the rim, it was laughable. But I was happy that I was able to do it, getting on the Vertimax, if anybody's ever heard of that, which is basically a jump machine. I would be on that Vertimax with jump soles. If anybody remembers jump soles, it was a way they were basically shoes you put on that help you enhance your vertical ability. I did anything and everything to get the little bounce that I do have, and it ain't much, but that was all hard work for that for sure.
Were you at least double digits on the vertical?
On what do you mean?
10? What did you? 10 inches?
I've never measured myself in that regard, DJ. No, but I was able to touch the rim, never able to dunk it. Now there was a goal in there that was like 9 foot in Glenwood. It was an old goal. They ended up fixing it. It was like 9, 10, 9. I got close to dunking on that one, but an actual 10-foot goal, touching the rim was about as good as I was going to get.
Well, that's all I ask. I mean, because I know it was a big deal for everybody in and around when I was, many, many years ago, just touching the rim, because again, that's what happens prior to, if you're blessed enough to have the hops to dunk, but touching the rim, man, everybody's like, walking around and dapping on their toes, walking through the hallways. But anyway, yeah. So again, for the sake of clarity, you remember touching the rim at your junior year?
Yeah, junior year. It was junior summer going in. Actually, senior summer, just finished up junior year. Spent the whole summer doing jump soles, doing box jumps, Vertimax, shooting 1,000 shots a day. I mean, if y'all see how I am kind of now with every day doing something Georgia Alabama Sports Live, that's how my work ethic was when I was playing sports. I may not be the most talented, but I damn sure was going to outwork you, and that's just always been my mindset. That's always been a Behringer mindset, and it started when I was playing basketball.
All right, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Guys, speaking of leaps, but I played with a guy in the 7th grade named Jack Talbert. I was at Arnold in the 7th grade. I was at Talbot Road in the 8th grade. Jack Talbot was the best player in the city. He was only about 5'11", played center for us because he could jump so high. Matter of fact, I saw him dunk in middle school, and it was in the 7th grade at Arnold Middle School, Arnold Junior High School back in the day. From the little checkered part of the free throw line, he took off and dunked in the 7th grade. And, of course, he played for your dad, and he was one of our top scorers over at Talbot Road your granddad over at Talbot Road in 8th grade. Jack Talbot, when you get a chance, ask your dad about Jack.
Yeah, he remembers him. I've heard stories about Jack Talbot. I've heard many stories about some of the pop players that have come through Talbotton, and then, of course, Rothschild, who coached at many of those schools.
Stand up, all you Rothschild Falcons, man. I tell you what, it's a great day. They already have tons and tons and tons of banners that started back during when your granddad was there. And, of course, this will be another banner added to the list. And, again, man, I tell you walk in that gym, it's almost intimidating. I mean, if you've ever had an opportunity to see some of those clips of the Boston Celtics in the old, what's the name of that Celtics arena that they play?
Boston Garden.
TD Garden.
Yeah, it's kind of puts you in the mind of that, and because again, it's just banner after banner after banner, and then for what I understand, they've taken some down because they wanted to make sure that everything flowed. But again, just another one to the mix.
Yeah, it is, man, and I'm really proud of seeing how they were able to battle back. Opening play of the game, Toronto Jenkins, the great running back for Aaron Cohn, with a house call, one of the first plays from scrimmage for them. And then Aaron Cohn couldn't move the football after that in a 14-8 defensive battle. What a game between both teams, and it was good for the city.
For you folks that don't know what a house call means, he bumped his head on the goalpost. He ran 55 yards for a touchdown, and we thought it was going to be one of those days. I was very early in the game, one of the first few plays of the game, but, man, did the defense stand up after that.
Yeah, they did, and it was an impressive game for sure. And 14-8. Low-scoring affair, and Rothschild didn't score their first touchdowns until the 3rd and 4th quarter, but it lived up to the hype for sure.
No, Richard, you had to be excited about the emotions and the actual the mood of I don't know what the spirit of that defense for Rothschild. These guys rose to the occasion. I know they had never played, even though both of them came in undefeated.
Yeah.
But from everything that we had heard, Aaron Cohn's offense, and of course you mentioned Toronto Jenkins. That 55-yarder that started the game off. But, man, did they hunker down or what?
Yeah, the Rothschild held their own. After giving up that long touchdown run, I thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought that Aaron Cohn was going to take care of business like they did against Ford in the semifinal, but that Rothschild defense stepped up when it mattered the most, and they made the defensive plays down the stretch to force the 2 turnovers because even after that touchdown, which was simultaneous possession, it was only 8-7. Aaron Cohn had the lead. They could just hold on to the football and try to run the clock out, but Rothschild was able to get a huge defensive touchdown. There was a botched snap on the punt, and Rothschild had it 1st and goal, and they put it into the end zone to take the lead, and then Aaron Cohn had the ball with 2 minutes to go to try to score and win the game. And Rothschild's defense came up once again, and then the job they did on Toronto Jenkins was incredible. Obviously, he's a hard guy to get down, but they bottled him up and they made sure that he didn't get anything. And it was just a great, fantastic middle school championship.
We got a couple of minutes before the
I just
next
got
break.
fired up from that analysis.
Absolutely.
He got fired.
Coming up with Georgia Alabama Sports Live for today and the rest of the week.
So we have CVCC and then Central Wrestling versus Central Smith Station Wrestling tonight. CVCC boys and girls basketball. And then tomorrow we got a plethora of basketball games. Plus, we're going to be live from Otis Spencer Stadium once again, knocking on wood that the weather's good. Carver taking on Burke County in a rematch of the state championship game last year. It is going to be, I think, a ton of fun. And looking forward to being in attendance and covering and doing pregame shows for Carver and Burke County. And then on Saturday, we got King of the County Wrestling and Tattle Square Calvary Basketball.
Speaking of inclement weather, there is a report that there's supposed to be like a 70-80% chance of rain. I don't know if that's in the morning or in the afternoon or all day, but either way, it's artificial surface over at Otis Spencer Stadium. So rain or shine, anything less than lightning, they will play that game.
There's 100% they're playing the game because there is no lightning. It's rain today, 95%. 95% Friday, 90% Saturday, 75 Sunday. So the next 4 days, enjoy the rain.
The football gods, Richie, will be over at Otis Spencer Stadium on tomorrow night when, of course, Burke County is in town, man. Again, I know that Georgia, at least George Washington Carver gave them a butt whooping in the state championship game. However, what do you think will happen tomorrow?
Well, I think that exactly what happened in the state championship game. We were there last year at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Burke County, even though they had a great comeback against Rockmart, Carver's just playing another level. I was actually hearing some of the analysts from some of the people that are high school football experts from around the state, to include John Nelson, to include Matt Stewart. And I was also subscribing to Georgia High School Football Daily. They believe Carver is going to win, and they are going to win big. I could see Burke County keeping it close, just like Thompson did in that first half. But, once, the depth of the Carver running backs and the defense that has been playing lights out, I get a different feel. We were at the signing day, and they had a highlight video of some of the best hits from the season. And Carver's athletes are just different. They're just playing on another level, and we expect the same result. And it favors Carver if it is going to rain during the game, because, they'd like to be physical and run the football. And I know that Coach Jarvis Jones was talking about Burke County having that wing T offense. So I'm excited to see this, and hopefully, though, the weather is not going to be too bad. But, yeah, I expect Carver to win and win big.
And we are only 1 week away from the finest, the premier high school football awards luncheon. And that's, of course, Sportsvisions' 18th annual high school football awards luncheon, presented by Aflac. Over 100 of the top high school football players and coaches will grace the stage. They will be honored. They will be celebrated. And we'll have us a doggone good time down at St. Luke Ministry Center, 11:30 a.m. And again, we're going to celebrate the Pacelli Lady Vikings State Championship team, the Central Red Devils Lady Red Devils flag football team, and all the top players and coaches in and around the Chattahoochee Valley, Thrift.
Yeah, I cannot wait to be able to be there for that next Thursday. Suited and booted, ready to give out awards to all these hard-working football and flag football coaches and programs.
All right, Rich, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from one of the guys that you guys have been seeing and you'll continue to see all the way through the state championships of the Georgia High School Association. He's with Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports. He's a star. His name is Matt Stewart. We'll be right back after these messages.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Corey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
The holidays are here, and Gory's Furniture Express is your holiday shopping headquarters. With over 106,000 square feet of in-stock merchandise, you'll find something for everyone on your list, with special savings throughout the store on lamps, rugs, recliners, tables, and more. And that's only at Gory's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika. Merry Christmas.
Catch live coverage of the SEC Championship game between the Georgia Bulldogs and Alabama Crimson Tide this Saturday on Sports Visions 92.1. Brought to you locally by Kinetic Credit Union, Yates Insurance, and Pete's Eurotech.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful. And you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
This message is brought to you by TogetherWeServed.com, a leading online community of over 2.3 million veterans. TogetherWeServed.com provides all veterans an easy way to stay connected, share in the camaraderie of other veterans, and remember their service. Using its search engine, veterans can find people they served with and get in touch. If you served, visit TogetherWeServed.com.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle and after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Every day, 12 children die from sepsis, more than from cancer. Most people don't know the word sepsis or the symptoms. Protect yourself and your loved ones. To learn more about the symptoms, go to sepsis.org.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, 12 to 3 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions morning show. Here's Carver Tigers legend DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
His name is Matt Stewart, and Matt in his season of college football on Friday nights in Georgia in weekly playoff championship action on Georgia Public Broadcasting. And, of course, he joined GPB football team in 2014. He's now called TV play-by-play for high school football in Georgia for 28 consecutive years, maybe more, 31 overall. And he won 3 straight Emmys for his work in 2022 through 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Sports Visions Morning Show, Matt Stewart. How are you, sir?
Good morning, fellas. How you doing?
Great, man. We had a wonderful time on Saturday night. As always, great to see you. And again, you did a fantastic job as always.
You too.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Team up.
Let's get right into it, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Again, you know, one thing about the platform that we have here, and of course, the only live local sports talk show in East Alabama, West Central Georgia, is that, you know, we talk teams and we talk stats, we talk scores, but we talk life as well, because a lot of young broadcasters and a lot of folks out there that I want to take them behind the scene. I take them back, you know, backstage, behind the curtains, if you will, and shine the light on them and give them an understanding, because one day, many of those folks think that they can do what we're doing here. And for the sake of everybody right now, why don't we do this? Why don't we go and share with folks where you're from?
Sure.
Who are some of the people that poured into you and some of the opportunities that you've had in the business?
Okay. Well, pardon me. Let me have a cup of coffee here.
All right.
Just getting my morning started here. Make sure my voice is clear. So, yeah, I graduated from Georgia State University in 1985. Further back from that, I went to Lakeshore High School in College Park, which is now, you know, it's long gone, but it's Westlake now. That's where Cam Newton went as a point of reference. And graduated from Lakeshore 1980, graduated from Georgia State 1985. I've been in the business since then, got a degree in broadcast journalism. So started out in Griffin radio, worked in a Griffin radio station doing news and sports there. Went to Athens, WRFC, which at the time was the flagship station of the Georgia Bulldogs network at the time. Worked there a couple of years as the sports director, and, you know, started calling play-by-play for Georgia baseball and high school football there. And of course, I was doing high school football and basketball in Griffin as well. And that was back during the kind of the Griffin glory days, or part of them, when Lloyd Bohannon was the head coach and they were churning out, college football players every year. From there, I went to the Georgia Network Radio and was the sports director of the Georgia Network. Also did WGST, which was connected to the Georgia Network. And there's where, I started doing pre and post game shows for the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Hawks, and a lot of ancillary programming around the Atlanta Falcons coaches shows. Like I was talking to someone there at the Hall of Fame dinner or ceremonies on Saturday night. Yeah, that's where I met Jerry Glanville, did his coach's show. So the topic had come up of Jerry Glanville. So did that. And so that carried me through 96 when I started in television. The local Fox station here in Atlanta, WAGA, wanted to start up a secondary channel, a news channel. And my part of that was going to be hosting a sports show on that channel every night. So we started doing that in 1996. And from there, ultimately, that led to CSS. I won't go through all the inner workings of what happened over the next 4 years, but I kept doing that for 4 years. And then CSS, Comcast Sports Southeast, launched across the Southeast. It launched in Atlanta in 2001. And that's when my play-by-play career really took off there. Up until that point, I'd pretty much done just high school and some Georgia stuff. And then I just started doing stuff all over the Southeast: college football, SEC, college basketball, SEC, ACC, you name it. And then college baseball too, minor league baseball and all that kind of stuff. So did that until 2014. Getting long-winded here. 2014, and then that's when SEC Network launched. CSS shut down by our parent company, NBC, and I went to work for ESPN and SEC Network. And I still do that to this day, although I'm not directly linked to them, not full-time anymore with those guys, but just still doing college football, college baseball, college basketball, of course, high school football, which I've been doing now for 28 consecutive years, as you pointed out, dating back to 1998, dating back to the pre-Comcast Sports Southeast days, and pretty much it. That's a career.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Matt, it's been a privilege of getting to know you the past couple of years. You've really been gracious to me, being a guest on my podcast several times, and I just appreciate you for that. And I appreciate your broadcasting experience. I always enjoy listening to you do play-by-play, not just for GPB Sports, but also for the Southeast Regional Tournament in Warner Robins. We had several local teams here the last couple of years. And then, of course, your work for the Sun Belt on ESPN+. Just talk about just having your foot in a lot of different pots when it comes to just different types of broadcasting. And how important is that for young broadcasters to do play-by-play, color, sports talk radio? What's your advice for some broadcasters that want to try to come up in the business, and how important it is to have talent in multiple fields in broadcasting?
It's like a baseball player, be a utility player, be able to play every position. That's kind of like what it's like. And be versatile, be able to do as much as you can along the way. I've called pretty much every sport there is to call, although, the bulk of my career has been what I would call the big three sports: baseball, football, basketball. But I've called lacrosse. Don't know anything about lacrosse. I've called lacrosse. I've called tennis. Believe that. I've called tennis on television, wrestling, volleyball, you name it. I've called it soccer, and all these sports. You just make yourself versatile. It'll open up a whole lot of opportunities for you. And it's amazing on the television side, the opportunities are now available for young broadcasters through school associations. That's kind of the way a lot of the stuff has gone. A lot of the stuff that ESPN used to do and that I used to do for ESPN are now controlled by individual schools and conferences. That's from a financial standpoint. That's just kind of the way the model has gone. And so, make relationships, work hard, be versatile, all those things.
Matt, as we talk to the young broadcasters, young aspiring broadcasters out there, and I've witnessed this in sports myself, is that you got those that have talent, but it takes so much more than talent. You have to obviously have a love for what we do. And a lot of people say that, hey, I want to do that. I want to be a broadcaster. I want to call games. I want to be an anchor. I want to do this. But listen, having, the other than it coming out of your mouth, obviously, you got to put the work in, and you got to do what you do when nobody's watching. And I want you to express upon these folks that, look, it takes more than talent. This is a labor of love. You don't just jump in this business, getting in the seat that you're in now. It was a process, and you had to earn the respect. And because you were passionate, you were dedicated, you were loyal, you were faithful, and you were focused.
Yeah, all those things, and and the Lord has blessed me. Let me tell you that too. So I mean, He's opened doors, and I've done things that I never thought would, that I would do. And He's been good to me in that regard. He just keeps opening doors for me. But to your point, you got to work hard. I mean, when you see me on the air, the 2-3 hours that I'm on the air, that's the tip of the iceberg. I've probably spent 20 plus hours that week getting ready for the game in every conceivable possible way, including, spending an hour on the phone or more with the coaches, kind of getting to know the team so that you know the team in your brain. You're not having to constantly look at your notes, and you do have notes, of course, but so it becomes a part of the fabric of your night. Now, you do so many different games and so many different teams that, you got to flush that pretty quick and move on to the next. But for that 2-3 hours, this is your main focus. And I got into this not because I wanted to be on television or, I didn't really, I did want to be on television, but doing sports because I want to do sports. I love sports. I mean, from the time I was a kid, that's, I was obsessed with sports. I couldn't wait when I was 9 years old. We, back in the day, Atlanta had 2 newspapers delivered. And of course, unfortunately, here coming up in the next couple of months, there'll be no papers delivered. They're going to stop printing the paper in Atlanta. Wow. It's going to all, can you believe that? It's going to be all online. But we got the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which was the afternoon paper, the evening paper, thrown in our driveway, every late afternoon, evening. I couldn't wait for that because I'd run down there, get it, read that thing cover to, from front to back, just absorb everything about sports and what was going on. Of course, we didn't have, I'm so old, we didn't have Sports Center and all that kind of stuff yet. And so that's how you got your sports news, and you really, and the history of it too. That's one of the things that I see that's kind of lacking in our young sports fans today is they don't understand the history of it. I knew all about Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and Dizzy Dean and all those guys. Of course, I never saw those guys. I never came close to seeing any of those guys, but I knew about them and I knew what they had done because I read the history. And, it's kind of we're in a microwave world. Like if it happened, 30 seconds ago, it's old news. So, and when you don't bother with it, and I see a lot of people say, well, that, that doesn't matter to me. That happened before I was born. A lot of things happened before you were born. A lot of big things happened before. A lot of big things happened before all of us were born. That doesn't mean they weren't important. They were very important, and you need to know what they were to kind of shape your view of what the world is today, because things just keep coming back around. So, so knowing the history, knowing the studying and all that kind of stuff, and really putting into it. But I would say the one thing to any aspiring, sportscasters is, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do this? Is your goal is to be TikTok famous, to be able to post videos and see yourself on television? Then that's probably not a great motive. I mean, if you want to be in sport, now you can do that. And there's a lot of people out there that are in the business because of that. But I do it because I love sports. And, if I wasn't doing this, if I'd never had those doors opened, I'd probably be, writing articles for a local newspaper about, a little league game or something. I just love sports. So that's my why as to why I got into it, because I'm passionate about sports.
All right, Matt, it's the final week of the regular season in high school football in Georgia. Mm-hmm. We have several local teams in our area that are battling for region championships, like Callaway taking on Morgan County. We've got Troup County taking on Sandy Creek. But around the state, I mean, you've got Douglas County, Carrollton. We've got Lowndes, Valdosta. I mean, if you're a fan of high school football in the state of Georgia, these matchups, it doesn't get any bigger than that. When it comes to high school football in Georgia, because I know you have the GPB game of the week, you also have the Webb game of the week. What are some deciding factors that go into picking the game of the week for GPB Sports?
Well, we want it to be a big game. We want it to be the biggest game of the week. And so for us, that was Douglas County at Carrollton. Now we do have travel limitations. I mean, Valdosta and Lowndes is big. Traditionally, that's big. That's like the Iron Bowl, and you can pick that game every year. You're not going to have a game bigger than that from a tradition standpoint. But on paper, I mean, you're talking about two 6A schools that have been ranked top 10 all season. You know, Carrollton 9-0, got to the state finals last year. They're number 3. I got them ranked number 3. Douglas County 7-2 with losses to Langston Hughes and Buford. So I mean the two of the best programs in the state, and they're a top 5 program. So you got 6A top 5. I mean, that just makes sense. To me that's the biggest game right there, and it's a big rivalry game. It's a rivalry game in that not so much about geographics, but also just about the talent of the two teams. Loaded with college football talent, and also what's riding on the line tomorrow night in Carrollton for the region championship. And you know, Douglas County is an interesting story here in that Johnny White has really flipped the script on that program, and they're just loaded with talent. They've got 5 4-stars on that team. Maybe 6. They got 5 or 6 4-stars on that team. There's very few teams in this state that have more high-end talent than Douglas County. And a lot of that Douglas County talent started playing together on the varsity as sophomores. So this is a 3-year run for them. And 2 years in a row now, they've gotten to the state semifinals and taken a lead in that state semifinal game to the 4th quarter and not won the game and got to the state championship. 2 years ago was against Woodward Academy when they were playing in 6A, what would today be 5A. I wish they stopped mixing up the classifications, but basically they were in the classification lower than what they are right now, and played Woodward Academy, had a lead in that game going to the 4th quarter, didn't win it, didn't get to the state finals. Then last year, of course, they had the lead going to the 4th. They were tied, going to the 4th quarter against Grayson, the eventual state champion, didn't win the game, didn't get to the state finals. And so now this is the final year for all of those sophomores, guys like Aaron Gregory, one of the top wide receivers in the country, who's committed to Texas A&M. Jordan Carter, one of the top defensive ends in the country, also committed to Texas A&M. Devin Carter, who joined the group, he was not initially part of that group, but the son of Dexter Carter, who played in the National Football League, he's committed to Florida State. He's one of the top wide receivers in the country. They're just loaded. This is the final chance for them. This is their final chance to beat Carrollton, who they have not been able to beat. And this is then of course, after this, they got the playoffs, and this will be their final chance to get to the state finals that they've been so close to the last couple of years, but just haven't been able to get over that hump. So Douglas County, of course, presents a huge storyline, and Carrollton, of course, a huge storyline, because everybody thought they'd win not one, but multiple state championships with Juju Lewis, the 5-star quarterback who's now at Colorado, and they never did. And so a lot of people, I was talking to Joey King yesterday, and he gets, I wouldn't say surly. He's not surly about it, but I mean, he doesn't want to talk about it. But a lot of people said, they missed their chance. If they weren't going to, if they weren't going to win a state champion, if they were going to win a state championship, they would have done it when Juju was there. Well, they didn't. But now they got another freshman quarterback. They got 2 quarterbacks they're playing. CJ Cipher, that's another name to remember over the next couple of years. He's a freshman, and he's their starting quarterback. And Mason Holtzclaw, who moved in from the Carolinas, is a senior, and he splits time with them. So that's the storyline this year. Carrollton kind of doing that Dominique Wilkins thing, the Dominique Wilkins story. When they were there, they couldn't, but when Dominique left the year after, they went to the Final Four. So is this the year Carrollton, they, not the Final Four, but maybe wins the state championship the year after the 5-star quarterback was there?
He is the award-winning sports broadcaster, Matt Stewart. Matt, we appreciate you coming on, and of course, introducing you to the Sportsvisions Nation, man. Now, look, you have a great rest of your morning, and hopefully we'll catch up with you real soon. Absolutely. Anytime, fellas.
How much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas.
We always enjoy talking to, of course, Matt Stewart and all the guys. John Nelson, we had him on yesterday, Thrift, and it's an opportunity for our Sportsvisions Nation to get familiar with these guys and and see behind the scenes, because when they watch them on GPB Sports and they see these games and they see these cut-ins and these reports and these broadcasts, they don't get the appreciation that we get by having friendships with these guys and even to understand what it takes to, of course, perform at that level.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that's exactly what we get on professionals like Johnny Nelly and then, of course, our guy Matt Stewart there. Looking forward to hearing both of them on the call for those state championship games coming up in a week.
Absolutely. Once again, big shout out to, of course, the Central Red Devils, the Lady Red Devils with the state championship in flag football. Once again, shutting out Vestavia Hills 25-0, man. And again, Coach Holt and his Central Lady Red Devils deserve a lot of credit, but they'll be at the Sportsvisions Awards Luncheon next Thursday, a week from today. I can't forget. How can I get a slip of the tongue? Along with, of course, our guys and our coaches and our teams from St. Anne Pacelli over there with the four. You say you got 4 back to back.
4 consecutive.
Goodness gracious, man! I tell you what, just breaking all barriers, breaking down our females, man. That's something to be said, and I'm so glad that we have the opportunity to honor our female flag football players alongside of the high school boys football players.
Oh, 100%. I completely agree with that, DJ, and glad and happy for Coach Holt. I'm happy for the Pacelli Vikings, and excited about it. I do want to say something, DJ, just a little bit in a personal for me. Just disappointed that we weren't able to get at least a broadcast, a Central Flag football game. Considering how incredible they've been, it would have been really awesome if we had the opportunity to showcase, do interviews, show coaches shows. We don't have access to do that. So if anybody out there is wondering, when we talk about the rankings and we're broadcasting games, we're Central. Well, we just didn't get access to it, and I hate it because we know how good Central girls are. They're about to be back-to-back national champions. They're also going to on a 57-game winning streak, but we didn't get access to really cover them. So it's hard talking about teams we don't get to cover as much, DJ.
You know what? I appreciate you being so professional, but I think that there's a lot of folks out there that don't really know and understand when you say you don't have access. That's putting it in a nice way, but you got to step down a few levels because that goes over some people's heads. So the bottom line is having access, meaning that you are not allowed to broadcast.
Not allowed.
And again, you have approached Central on a couple of occasions. I don't know who in particular, and maybe if you wanted to share that or not, I don't know what, but I want to make sure that we are absolutely positively clear when we say, when you say access, you don't have, some people don't know what that means. Yeah. And so again, that's where I would want you to concentrate on helping them understand. Because, people like me and other folks in the Sportsvisions Nation, you're using those big words. I mean, it's just not, doesn't jive with us.
Yeah. We're not allowed to broadcast, and Central has a agreement with the NFHS network, and I also know that they're got guys over there like Tim Lorman, who's in charge of all their streaming and broadcasting. They do an amazing job, student-led broadcast. We didn't want to step on any toes. We just want to be able to make sure Central's not left out in the coverage that we are able to bring for everybody else around here. And so when we do our rankings and when we talk about teams, when we do 7 Pacelli flag football games this year, they deserve to be talked about. Guess what? We got to cover them. We got to see them with our own eyes.
We got permission.
We got permission to be there. We did interviews with Zach Cochran 3 to 4 times this year. We got to be there for the state championship game. Me and Richard were on the call for that. Obviously, when you get access, it makes it a lot easier to talk about. And we appreciate everyone that allows us to broadcast games. But again, I just want to make sure people understand we're not idiots. Richard, DJ, and I are not dumb. We know Central's the best flag football program in America. I will say it again. Central is the best flag football team in America. Mitchell Holt is about to be back-to-back national champions. What he's been able to accomplish the last 2 years has been incredible. But with that being said, love to be able to be allowed and have access to broadcast some of these games, to talk about them, to be allowed to cover them in some capacity. And so for those out there that get really, really upset and love sending me direct messages on Facebook, listen, keep doing it. I appreciate that you care enough about the rankings that a team has left out. But I don't think I can say it till I'm blue in the face, DJ. It's still going to upset some people. There's a reason why they're not in the rankings, reason why we don't talk about them as much, because This week alone, we're doing 21 games. 21 games between 15 different schools.
Is Central in that lineup?
They are not in that lineup. So 21 games, a lot of games, DJ. 15 schools to talk about is a lot of schools. I'm not adding more unless we get access. And guess who gave us access this year? Troup County, LaGrange, Callaway. And we appreciate them. And they're 45 minutes up the road. And they all have deals with NFHS. But they were begging and loving the fact that we got to come and cover them against Sandy Creek and Mary Person. Sandra Glisson was happy and excited and thrilled and want us to come back. That's all we want. We don't ask for much. Just give us access.
And when you come, hey, look, we got to take a break right now. We're at the top of the hour, but we're going to continue to talk about this. And by the way, Coach Holt will be on the Sports Visions morning show in the morning, so we will talk to him. And, but yeah, we got to put it out there, man. We can't continue to take these punches and these blindside hits because people don't know or have all the information. And again, you know, it's a lot. What you don't know, you just don't know. But you know what? We just sit back and be professional about it. Let's go ahead and take a break. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2. Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
Let's have some straight talk. Are you sick of being trapped in a title pond or just need a loan? Call 1-800-NEW-RATE. If you're in a title pond trap, we can get you out. We save you thousands in interest. We lower your payments, possibly cut your payments in half, and you get up to $1,000 in extra cash. That's $1,000 extra cash, and your first payment's not due for up to 45 days. Call 1-800-NEW-RATE at 1-800-899-6669. It's fast, it's easy, and you can get approved right over the phone and get your check today. Do you need to pay off that high-interest title pond loan? Then call right now to 1-800-899-6669. Call 1-800-NEW-RATE at 1-800-899-6669. Did I mention you can get up to $1,000 in extra cash? That's 1-800-NEW-RATE. Get approved right over the phone and get your check today. Call now to 1-800-899-6669. Motors Acceptance Corporation. Doing business as 1-800-NEW-RATE. Georgia Installment Lender License. NMLS number 1943997.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. That's 800-215-7996.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-578-3203. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-578-3203. That's 800-578-3203. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1, covering local and national sports. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's a Throwback Thursday. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. Big shout out to Richard Holdridge, who's off to do his daddy duties, and we appreciate Richard wholeheartedly. The Swiss Army knife is his name and his nickname in every sense of the word.
Yeah, appreciate it. Big Rich coming in as always, doing what he does.
Thrift, if I said to you what happened on this day 43 years ago in New York City at a ceremony that's highly coveted by college football.
Where were you at during this time period?
I was in Manhattan, in New York City, with my former teammate and good friend Herschel Walker. He was being honored by the Downtown Heisman Association. He won that Heisman Trophy, beating John Elway out in December 4th of 1982. And we were there in New York City. The country boys from down south in Georgia, we were in the city.
How was your eyes during that time period?
They stayed up and looking at the top of those buildings. You know, you always have people from up north and people that have been and experienced New York City. You know, they always tell you, us Southerners, that, hey, look, when you get to New York, act like you've been there before. And, don't look around, don't speak to people, don't look up at the buildings because they're going to know that you're not from there. What did I do? As soon as I got off the plane, got out the limo to downtown, I looked up at some of those buildings. Those are some of the tallest buildings that I had ever seen in my life. As a 20-year-old young man born and raised in Columbus, Georgia, being in the big city, being in Manhattan, again, the city of dreams with Herschel Walker. Man, what a time. 2 weeks on the city, on the downtown athletic club's dime was amazing.
Unbelievable, man. And I know y'all thoroughly and enjoyed it. Did y'all know Herschel was going to win it? Did you have a feeling that he was the prohibitive favorite? There was no doubt.
Can I say this for you? Again, this was 1982. So Herschel should have won the Heisman in 1980 when we won the national championship. But Marcus Allen, I believe, took it that year. No, George Rogers took it that year.
South Carolina.
The next year in 1981, Marcus Allen won it. He should have won it that year. We lost to Dan Marino and Pitt on the last second play in the Sugar Bowl that we would have won back-to-back national titles. And then, of course, he won it in 1982. We beat Penn State in the Sugar Bowl, and, he had an opportunity to go to New York. And, again, here's the thing about it. A lot of people, over the years, some people know, some people don't. Herschel had the opportunity to take not only his immediate family, but two teammates, two friends. And Chris McCarthy, who was his fullback at that particular time, and myself, who were very good friends, obviously coming in as a quarterback. Herschel and I spent a lot of time together, in the intermediate days of our training camp, and we became good friends. Again, star running back, star quarterback, being recruited in the recruiting class, one of the top recruiting class, if not the top recruiting class in the country. So we established a great relationship. He was a down home country boy. Hell, I was a country boy, just a little bit more seasoned as well. But just a tremendous relationship. A lot of people don't realize it, but we were roommates, or at least we shared a hotel room in Athens over the summers. Every summer I would stay up and do the off-season conditioning, and Herschel would run track on the European circuit, and he had a room. But man, a lot of the benefits of being friends with him, teammates of his. The whole Adidas thing that we have right now. Gary Stokan, for those folks who know, of course, the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, one of the most powerful men in college football. Gary Stokan was the promotional manager for Adidas at that particular time. And Herschel Walker, loved Adidas because he had a wide foot. We had a Nike contract. We were a Nike school under Coach Dooley, but Nikes were a little thin, narrow, and they didn't have all the extra AA cuts, AAA cuts, with. But Adidas was a bigger, wider shoe. So, long story short, Gary Stokan struck a deal with Coach Dooley and Herschel that they would provide these wider turf shoes and ball cleats for Herschel, and all the gear and all the things that come with it in exchange for Herschel being satisfied. And again, I was one of the recipients of most of those track suits and running shoes, and certainly the turf shoes and the cleats. So that's is when you're friends with celebrities, man. Again, you have a lot of perks. That's why I can understand a lot of the hanger-oners on the entertainers and the rock stars. Can you imagine being LeBron James's buddy or Allen Iverson's buddy back in their heyday? And You get the best of the best.
She's a runner. She's a rock star. Yeah, but I agree with you, DJ. I know that had to be a lot of fun. And then on the ride with Herschel as he became the star, because obviously coming in as a freshman, I mean, people knew he was a great running back, but he wasn't the national known name that he became after that first season. And man, what a ride that had to have been.
It didn't take long, Thrift, because you remember we went to Knoxville in the very first game, and he didn't even start that game. That was the first game of our freshman year in 1980 up in Knoxville. And what was the name of that stadium up there? Neyland Stadium, 100,000 people, man. I'll go from playing at Carver in front of 300 or 400 people at the best to playing in, or at least being a part of a team that played in my very first collegiate game, 100,000. And Herschel came in after going into that game third or fourth string. He wasn't even second team going in. But, Mike Kevin, he's still there now. He's one of Kirby Smart's right-hand men. He was a running back coach who recruited Herschel, and he told Coach Dooley, after, of course, having a stalemate with Tennessee in the first half, he said, look, we got to get Herschel in the game. And he told George Hafner that, as the running back coach told the offensive coordinator. And George Hafner says, I'm not telling Dooley, you tell him. And Mike Kevin said, okay, I'll go tell him. And he went over and whatever he said, but the bottom line was he said, Coach Dooley, we got to get Herschel in the game. We got the best top recruit in America, and our guys are just not getting it done. Well, guess what? That's when you saw that famous Herschel Walker. He's running over people. Again, that's running over Bill Bates, and the rest is history, man.
By God, he's a freshman. Hobnail boot.
Oh, you Herschel Walker.
Oh, you Herschel Walker.
Look at those Herschel Walker thighs.
I wonder, and I was listening to old Scott Howard and, Andy Burcham, Rob Brantlett. These guys took over for the legendary, who's Auburn's legendary guy that you call
Jim Fife.
Yeah. Obviously Larry Munson, Eli Gold. Are those guys, in the 80s, that was really the only way you were going to tune into the game for majority of the time. Unless your team was really good, you were not going to be on TV. They were synonymous. When you thought Georgia, you thought Larry Munson. The Scott Howard and Burcham and Brantlett and Alabama's new guy now, I just don't feel like they got the same cachet. Not saying they're not important and people don't care about them, but I don't think they're walking around like guys like Gold and Munson and Fife were. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that they still have that some cachet. It's just that, the way we listen to games now and the options that we have. But those traditionalists, man, I mean, I'm guaranteeing you right now, those old school guys that listened in the 60s and 70s and the 80s,
they're radio.
They're still radio guys. I mean, the new kids today, they might, but they still eventually have to plug into the Georgia Sports Radio Network or whatever they call it, in the same way with Auburn's. If you're not watching the game on your phone or if they don't show it on the SEC network, but again, I still think that there's a lot of old schoolers out there listening to that radio.
You're probably right about that, DJ. But I just felt like back in the day, Larry Munson, Eli Gold, they could do no wrong. They were about as big as the football coach,
They were bigger than the football players. They were bigger than the football coaches. If a person, and again, I'm just saying this tongue in cheek, if you had a chance to entertain Larry Munson or Vince Dooley back in the heyday, man, most people would say Larry Munson.
Give me Larry.
Yeah. Although that Coach Dooley was beloved, but again, it was a different day. But again, to answer your question about the guys that do the radio broadcast now, they're just as involved, and they try to get more relevant players involved. I know DJ Shockley is the sideline reporter for Georgia. I know Ronnie Brown at Auburn.
Jason Campbell's a color guy.
Yeah. So again, it's a little different flavor, but that voice, the voice of the radio for these institutions, will always be revered.
100%. Oh, Scott. I'm sorry. I tried to do it, Eric Zier. Can I tell you, Eric Zier is the only person in the history of radio. You have that theater of the mind.
Uh-huh.
When I saw what Eric Zier looked like from what his voice sounds like, I'm like, there's no way in God's green earth to say that sound is coming out of him.
Yeah.
But in the end, these guys, they love their schools. They love what they represent. They have fun.
You got to give it up for Eric Zier. Now, how many guys will walk away in their prime? He's not the color guy now. And Josh Brock is the new.
That's what I'm saying. They're the new guy now.
Yeah, but Eric, and again,
Sam White did the same thing with Auburn too.
Guys have families, and for the most part, when you're in football season, you talking about Saturdays and Fridays and Thursdays and sometimes Sunday.
You're gone.
Depending on travel, you're gone. You got family, you got jobs. these radio jobs, especially I know, for Scott it's a full-time deal, but he's a part of the radio affiliate. But some of the guys that color analysts and sideline reporters, it's a side gig. I don't know how DJ Shockley can do what he does, because not only is he a guy that works with the Dogs, he works with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
He's also the anchor with Fox Sports News in Atlanta. Man, this guy is living his dream every day. You talk about being busy. I mean, this guy, but again, it's Columbus, Georgia, and then there's Atlanta. And I told you the other day when we had Scott Williams on with the SEC Network, when you have a team of professional people to help you build this, whatever it is, that empire, it works. So everybody can just do your job. DJ Shockley is not asked to sell. He's not asked to do anything. He's not asked to produce. He's not asked to do anything but show up and report as a sideline reporter for the Dogs and a sideline reporter for or whatever he does for the Atlanta Falcons. And he comes in and anchors on whatever days it is for Fox. They customize and created that opportunity for him.
Yeah, they did, man. And I love DJ Shockley.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun to be around. I got several memories, but one of my favorite is 2021. First time ever going to Georgia game covering with Sportsvisions. Me and you are walking the field. You're shaking hands, kissing babies with everybody from the stadium people to the obviously assistant coaches. And we roll up on DJ. And this was when JT Daniels was there. And
Don't say it, Thrift. Don't do it.
I'm sorry. And Stetson Bennett, obviously got his opportunity the year before. And they were like, well, he was okay. We got to go get a quarterback. And JT just kept sitting out, but looked like he was healthy as all get out on the sideline. And DJ's like, man, what's going on with Daniels? And Shockley looked at DJ and said, soft. And obviously he was right about that, because Bennett takes over and back-to-back national champions. But I love how real DJ is. And, as former quarterbacks, you're probably the same way, DJ. When you see these guys, you're like, it irks you when they're not given the same like DJ did. He stayed at Georgia. That guy could have transferred. And now today's game, I love to ask him, in today's game, does he think he would have stayed 5 years someplace and not getting his opportunity to start until his 5th year? Think about that. He was behind David Green for 4 seasons. He could have went anywhere else and started immediately. I don't think he would have done that in today's game. Maybe not.
Maybe not, but at the same time, when you consider all that he has been through, again, waiting that 1 year to play and to perform and win in SEC in 2005. But not only that, this is the part of it that people don't even think about. For his loyalty, for his diligence, he has been rewarded with not only being on the sideline as a reporter for the Dogs, but those opportunities in Atlanta came because, that says a lot about your character. You're not worried about, what's happening immediately. Yeah, he probably could have played, should have played, but he didn't. He didn't quit. As now these kids are jumping around, going here and there. What does that mean to an employer or somebody that's saying, okay, well, what about Thrift Behringer? Well, he used to be at Tulane, but now he's at Ole Miss, but then he finished up at Tennessee. I mean, that doesn't give you a lot. And again, it could be for good reasons. I mean, your coach could have left. You could have been, better than the guy, whatever it is. But I'm saying this to say, DJ Shockley is being rewarded real time by having all of those wonderful opportunities because of not only waiting it out at Georgia and winning and performing when it was his time, but even after his football days, he's hung up his cleats. He's getting the chance of a lifetime because of the opportunities that have come his way, because of who he was when he was in Athens. And of course, the work he's putting in now. He's talented, he's gifted. But again, people remember that loyalty, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, and they remember how you make them feel. And the University of Georgia has done a really good job at taking care of their own, and you're seeing that with old Shockley.
All right, Thrift, let's go ahead and take another break. We'll come back and talk about some good old day stuff. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sportsvision Morning Show.
No ID, doors opening up for me, and now I see. I've been blind for a while now.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. 32-year-old Marquez Holloway, a repeat offender, faces a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison after he was found guilty of one count of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute methamphetamine, cocaine, and marijuana. Meanwhile, more police officers in Columbus are on patrol this holiday season as an effort to hold back crime in the city. Police reportedly say there is a 27% decrease in violent crimes year to date. In Alabama, state leaders are speaking out about the denied proposed plan to relocate the Islamic Academy of Alabama. The academy says the plans were unrelated to zoning and reflect harmful stereotypes. The academy remains open to continue dialogue regarding traffic safety and land use concerns. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Thursday morning. We're off to an overcast and cold start to the day. Those temperatures hovering in the mid to low 30s. The rain returns today, keeping afternoon temperatures limited to near 50 degrees. Tonight, those showers will continue, lows falling into the 40s. And guess what? More rain in the forecast for your Friday. Some of the showers could be heavy at times, and we'll keep the rain in the forecast for Saturday before it starts to slowly taper off by late Sunday. More sun, though, in the extended forecast.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. That's 800-871-3291.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Georgia at highschoolofficials.com.
Find the most wonderful gifts at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with incredible deals on our best brands like Donna Karan, Avec La Fille, Calvin Klein, and more, all at 30% off. Plus, take 15% off beauty and fragrance from Lancôme, Clinique, and Yves Saint Laurent. Or Star Rewards members can earn $20 in Star Money for every $100 spent on eligible brands. Going on now, only at Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit goodrx.com to save today.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Behringer. Big shout out to Richie Rich. Richard Holdridge is off to do his daddy duties, man. I tell you what, it's a great day for a great day. We are in the land of champions. Big shout out to, of course, the St. Anne Pacelli Lady Vikings for winning a state championship in flag football, but also just right across the river, one of the best flag football teams in America, the Central Red Devils. Coach Mike Mitchell Holt and his Red Devils knocked off Vestavia Hills 25-0 yesterday over in the Ham, I believe it was. I don't know. We got the sports director from WRBL back in, of course, in the saddle with us from the east side. Welcome. Good morning, Jack. How you doing?
Morning, fellas. How's it going?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. What can you tell us about those state championship Central Lady Red Devils?
Oh, yeah.
DJ, man, they put on a show in the Magic City last night. I'm telling you, man, I feel like they were motivated, okay? Because Central was number 3 team ranked nationally in the USA Today poll, and Vestavia Hills, the team they faced, was ranked number 6.
Okay.
And I feel like there was a little chip on their shoulder because they felt like that they deserved to be ranked higher, and they played like it, okay?
Yeah.
Vestavia may have scored that first touchdown in the game, but they didn't do a thing else in that game. Central outscored them 46-0 the rest of the way. They won 46-0. Mariah Harrison, I saw on the stream earlier today that somebody said that you need to have her on your show, and I agree, DJ, because she played phenomenal yesterday. She had a fantastic game, and so did Amaya Brooks, so did Savannah Severe. Those girls had an all-around fantastic game. And, hey, 3 state championships, 3 straight state championships, 57 straight wins. In my mind, those girls, number 1 in the country.
Absolutely, man. I tell you, I'm excited about it. We got Coach Holt lined up to come on tomorrow to share that wonderful experience. But Mariah, over 350 yards. Man, again, that was passing yards, right?
Yeah, she had a day, man. She had a day. I think the most impressive thing is after Vestavia had that first drive, that kind of, that old punch in the mouth kind of moment.
Yeah.
And then she hits Amaya Brooks for like a 60-yard touchdown, the first play of the next drive. And that just set the tone for everything. And like I said, Mariah had herself a day, both passing and rushing, because she rushed for a couple of touchdowns as well. She was dangerous through the air and on the ground.
I tell you what, Jack, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to see Georgia-Alabama Sports Live yesterday, but we had a couple of middle school champions, man, going head-to-head, and, of course, a couple of undefeated teams. And, boy, you talking about one of the best. And I told Thrift and Richard this morning. Other than the Carver-Sumter game, I don't think I've seen a better performance all around, offense and defense, game than that middle school game last night between Aaron Cohn and Rothschild.
Man, listen, it's the next generation, right? I love to see that, because these are your future guys that you're going to see on the prep zone in a couple years. And I don't just say that about the players. I say that about the coaches as well. Okay. That's kind of the proving ground. And when you see a game like that, and I saw plenty of chatter about it last night from when I was in Birmingham. I saw plenty of chatter about the game and how good it was. And, it was a well-contested game, and that's what you want to see at that level. You want to see hard-fought games. You want to be able to see people, start, building up to where they're going to be at, where you want them to be at when they make it to the high school level. Because, like I said, this is the generation that you're seeing getting ready to come up. And like I said, you want to see the athleticism. You want to see the playmaking abilities. You want to be at the coaching level. You want to be able to see coaches make tough decisions, but the right decision in crunch moments. And I feel like that game was filled of all of that.
No, 100%, man. And I'm glad that we were able to be there for it, JP. But with that being said, yesterday was signing day. Carver had 6 players go to the Division I level. Mississippi State, Tennessee, A&M, Auburn are some to name a few, plus with Georgia Southern and Georgia State, and Charleston Southern. When you see an elite level of signees in Carver year in and year out having that type of talent come in, I mean, there's no doubt about it why they are, I think, the number 1 program right now. And they got a big one against Burke County, a rematch of last year's state championship. But I just don't think there's anything stopping Jarvis Jones and this Carver Tigers team.
I agree with you, Thrift. I agree with you. There's nothing that I've been able to see that can stop this Carver team, okay? It may be that the only thing that stops this Carver team is this Carver team, okay? If they play at the level that they can play, I've said it from the jump earlier this year, I don't think there's a team in 2A that can stop them, okay? I really, really don't. And, it's just, and especially with all the change that this team went through this season, okay? You're talking about new coach, new quarterback, new systems, okay? so many things changing. Okay. You don't expect the team going through all of that to be in this situation. Okay. But that's just a testament to what Coach Jones has been doing, what a testament to that coaching staff has been doing, and a testament to the players who have been working their tails off to get in. Now, they'll all tell you job's not done, okay? Because I know everybody likes to look back at last year's state championship game and see that score and thinking, oh, Carver's going to run roughshod over them. And that might be true, okay? But Franklin Stevens and Burke County is not a cakewalk. Just ask Rockmart last week, okay? Yeah. Because a lot of people said the same thing about Rockmart. Rockmart and Burke County played last year, and everybody said, oh, Rockmart's going to get their get back on Burke County for knocking them out the playoffs last year. And guess what? Burke County went to their place again and beat them again. So do not count this Burke County team out. Do not sell them short. And, you can really say that about them. But, we also got our eyes on Sumter County, man, because, Thrift, you were there. Wouldn't you just love to see a rematch of Carver and Sumter County for the state championship? Because I sure would.
Hey, tell you, man, listen, first of all, again, I know I want you to talk about tomorrow night's game and, again, all the action. But is it down now really manageable? Because, again, with Carver being the, of course, lone team in the area, well, not the only team in your area, because obviously it gets a little – you got what, still you got LaGrange in as well?
Yeah, we got with Alabama, in Alabama, we got Lynette left on Friday. They're playing Coosa Christian, Russ Probst's team. They're playing them on Friday. So our man Kevin Roble will be grabbing that for us in Birmingham. And then we've got Carver, obviously, playing Burke County. Then we got Sumter County that's playing Hateville Charter in the other 2A semifinal. And then we've got LaGrange playing Sandy Creek in a rematch from their earlier regular season game. So that's all we got left. And you're right, DJ. It is a little bit more manageable, and thank goodness for that. But, it's all about showcasing the best of the best. But, we also got to keep our eyes on our ladies in flag football in the GHSA as well.
All right, Jack. Hey, we appreciate you as always, big guy. But don't go far, because guess what? We're going to have in just a few minutes, right when I get done with you, we got the newest citywide champion, Muskogee County School District champion, middle school football team. We're going to have Coach Corey West up next. So don't go anywhere. Before you leave, though, let everybody know where they can find you on social media, as well as when they can watch you on television tonight.
All right. The Twitter accounts are right there below my name. And, of course, follow us on Facebook as well, WRBL News 3 Sports. And then, of course, watch us on TV. You got all of the state semifinals coming up on Friday night with Carver, Sumter County, and the state championship game for Lynette as well. We got you covered. And, of course, man, we got to talk about Saturday as well. SEC championship, Georgia, Bama Park, whatever. But, they're facing off again. We'll have you covered on Saturday as well.
Thanks, you so much, JP. Have a great rest of your morning, man. You take care.
JP.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right. Go ahead and bring that champion up right now, man. One time for the Rock Boys. Congratulations, Coach. How you doing? Coach Wes, how you doing, buddy?
Coach?
You got us on mute. Take your mute off, Coach.
No, we can hear him. He apparently can't hear us.
You can't hear us? Can you hear us, Coach? Can you hear what's the words that are coming out of my mouth?
How about this? Let's take a break, DJ.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back from break, we'll make sure that we can get that champion coach up.
All right. You're watching Facebook Live. We'll be right back after this.
Treat you like a friend. Respect you like a lover. Oh, 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 oh.
You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be, at GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
I was live streaming makeup tips when my internet went down. My followers were furious. Like, both of them.
Someone damaged the gas line and our service was turned off for safety. Now my chili is ruined and I'm simmering.
As she was digging into my chocolate delight, someone dug through a water main. No water,
No bath.
no delight.
All because my neighbor didn't contact 811.
Be a good neighbor and contact 811 before digging.
Corey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
The holidays are here, and Gory's Furniture Express is your holiday shopping headquarters. With over 106,000 square feet of in-stock merchandise, you'll find something for everyone on your list, with special savings throughout the store on lamps, rugs, recliners, tables, and more. And that's only at Gory's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika. Merry Christmas.
Last minute shopping? Been there. Luckily, there's still a little time to shop, and Ulta Beauty makes it easy. Find the hottest gifts from brands like Sol de Janeiro and Tarte. Need stocking stuffers? Grab minis from Clinique and Benefit Cosmetics or fragrance roller balls. Gift cards are always a win in a pinch. So hurry and head to Ulta Beauty today. Or buy online and pick up in-store now. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Of course, we have Coach Corey West, the Muskogee County middle school football champions. Of course, yes, fresh last night. The Rock Nation rolls up, and of course, they took on the big bad Aaron Cohn over at
The Rock.
Otis Spencer Stadium, man. I tell you, over 1,100 people in the stands, and I tell you, man, that was a wang dang doodle of a time.
Say that number again.
Over 1,100 people to see a middle school
City.
game.
You heard what he just said.
Come on
Anything less than that on Friday, this community should be ashamed of themselves.
It should be twice that many.
It should be twice. I'm telling you right now, if I look on that other side, and Burke County, I'm going to put this in perspective, 4-hour drive here.
Oh, yeah.
And I see more Burke County fans. Columbus should be ashamed. But we're not going to do that. I'm not even going to speak that negativity to existence because weather's going to be great. It's going to be a packed house, and the Carver Tigers going to take down Burke County.
Absolutely. Again, we're still trying to get everything figured out with Coach West over at Rothschild. We want him to come on because obviously we want him to get his flowers while he's still here.
There we go.
Again, he certainly put on for the city last night. Coach, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. I can hear you guys. I had to log onto my computer this time.
Hey,
there we go.
The devil is busy already.
Devil's
this morning,
alive.
Man. Hey, but he ain't gonna stop us from celebrating you, my friend. Congratulations,
I
man.
appreciate it.
You and your kids were fantastic. Did you know something that we didn't know, or whether they were slipping on the Rock Boys?
I knew it. I knew it. Never once I doubted anything. I went into this thing with full confidence, and I don't want to say they doubted, but hey, we're here. We're here.
No doubt about it, Coach. First things first. Toronto Jenkins, fantastic running back for Aaron Cohn. How it takes to for a touchdown, first play of the game. I talked to you about it last night. What was the mindset with you and your coaches to keep your guys composed? Because after that moment, Aaron Cohn didn't even get into your territory until that final drive. That was an incredible performance by your defensive guys and your defensive staff.
Well, it's weird that the first thing that we talked about once we got to Otis Spencer was something's gonna happen. So when we touched the field, it happened. And just to see my guys, it didn't affect them.
Right.
It didn't affect them. They stayed in it, and we faced adversity 2 weeks ago against Richards. Never been hit in the mouth. So when we got hit in the mouth that play, it's okay. It's okay, and that's what I told the guys. It's okay. All right, we can bounce from this. So they did a good job of just keep going. It didn't faze them. Nobody was complaining down or nothing like that. So they kept playing football.
Tell you what, Coach, I know that, with this championship, it puts your name up in lights with all of those coaches, the great coaches that have coached in Rothschild. You now have your city championship, and your banner will go up in the rafters at some point in time. But I know you will be the first one to congratulate, the Aaron Cohn's coach, Coach Stalin, because of, again, all of the success. And again, I guess it's just a mutual respect that you guys, as former military guys, coaches, current coaches, have for each other. And I just want to give you an opportunity to speak to that.
Yeah, Chris does a great job, man. And I asked Chris, how does it feel? Because you got to think, Chris been at this thing for a while. Chris has multiple championships up under his belt, just to add. People don't give Chris a lot of credit, man, and he does a great job. I can remember Chris when he was over at Richards. He's been doing a great job with those kids, and I have the utmost respect for him. And once it all said and done, man, he will go down as one of the great coaches in the area.
Offensively, they were coming after you. They got some big guys up front, Corey. Yes. They got some guys that probably could play on some high school teams right now. And so, y'all decided, I think, in that second half, listen, instead of dropping back and getting our quarterback obliterated, let's just run them right up the middle and run right at him. And it started working, and you scored the 2 touchdowns. Why did y'all decide to punch him in the mouth with the run game instead of the passing game? When did y'all realize, hey, let's switch it up some? Okay,
so Katie Chesson, Mr. Crazy 8, he wasn't having the best game. So Mel Ayers, my offensive coordinator, he wanted to stick to the game plan, and I was like, hey, Mel, let's switch it up. Let's do something. They were spreading the field on us. They was playing the deep ball. So I said, hey, let's change the game up. They spreading the defense. So guess what? Hey, let's give it to the big guys. Mr. Robert Holmes Jr. and Camden Lockhart, man, and those guys, and Keegan Thomas, man, those guys did a great job of moving that ball. And I think it was one of those quarters, I can't remember right now. It was one of those quarters we had the ball for the whole entire quarter.
Yeah.
So they did a phenomenal job, though. Yeah.
Coach West, I know, it was something special yesterday when we had you on, and, we were talking to you, interviewing you, and, I asked you a question about your team, and you politely picked up the camera and turned around and said, they're here right now. It was unbelievable because, you talk about 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the class, and it was, you could hear pin drop on cotton. That's how disciplined they were. So when I saw that, I said, there's something special about this group. Thrift and I was talking about that.
Yep.
But talk about your team overall and the discipline.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what we talked about our word, our identity was accountability. And each year I have a different saying, different slogan for each team, and that accountability fits so well with these guys, man, because I went out this year. I went all in. I went out. I did a lot of things that I don't normally do. My whole thing was to, like I said yesterday, is show these guys what right looks like, and they bought in. Not only did they buy in, but the parents also bought in. So I think once we had the parent support, it was easy for the kids to buy in, because if the parents on board, the kids was going to be on board. So that accountability was our thing, and to me, accountability builds character and install discipline. So me being a military guy, man, that's what we eat and breathe.
Coach, we had 1,100 people in attendance last night. That was a ton of people at that game, standing room only. Wow. For those that were watching on the broadcast, obviously you saw the other side was empty because they put them all on one side. But how do we get that And you saw it all year long. I don't care where it was at. It could have been at your home school, could have been at the Midland Terry Gaines Field, or, of course, Otis Spencer. It was packed for every team. How do we translate that to the high school level, man? How do we keep that fan support and the community support to be the same when they move on to high school?
So well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not easy, but this is something that not just us Rockchild family did. It's also the Aaron Cone parents. We promoted this from the jump, so it was the most anticipated matchup, being that we were the up and coming kids from the last year. You got to understand, my kids, these guys been playing since they was in 6th grade.
Right.
It's amazing that if the parents support the kids and we promote it the way it needs to be promoted in the right way, people gonna come out. They're gonna come out and support the kids, and I think that's what we need more. We just need more parent support, and I promise you, we'll pack the stands again.
He is Coach Corey West, and of course, he's the citywide championship football team from Muskogee County, and he's at Rockchild Leadership Academy. And again, we're talking about the Falcons. We're talking about the Rock Boys, man. I tell you, have you heard from any of the alumni? I know that there's a prideful school, man, and I know that from Brinson Buckner to Larry Bush, it's a plethora of people that have worn that red and black that would obviously want to be able to tell you congratulations. I know you've heard from a lot of them.
Yeah, I heard from a lot of them, and it's an amazing feeling to get a call from those guys to congratulate and to thank you. Not just those guys, the well-known guys, but I was in Walmart last night after the game, and a guy was speaking on Rockchild, and he was like, "Hey, I like what that guy is doing over there." And the young lady that was the cashier, she just smiling and grinning. And, she was like, "Sir, the guy you talking about is right behind you." So it's amazing feeling, DJ. I tell you, man, just the support from the community, and I always say we do it for the community, and to turn around last night and see all those people. Aaron Cone parents and fans and the Rockchild fans, and man, it was amazing. It was amazing. I was stunned to really see the support and turnout that we had, but it's a great feeling.
Coach, I know that one league has something that they have to worry about, and it's called the transfer portal. But I tell you, as far as middle school, you got some young guys in your system. You're not going to have to worry about that transfer portal, and I'm sure you're happy about that.
Well, that portal can be something, it can be something real serious. We do something here over at Rockchild with the younger kids. We played a lot of B team games and let them get a feel of what game reps feel like. So they played a lot of B team games this year, and we get them in there, when we can. Special teams, a player here too. And then those games where we were just winning, out the water. So we was getting those kids in. So overall, the parents were happy, and I was satisfied with the younger kids that we have. And so the future looks very bright for Rockchild.
What is next now with you taking on basketball? You don't get much of a break, do you? How long before you have tryouts for that and get ready for the season for basketball?
Today. It doesn't end. Today is official. Today will be official trials for basketball today. And what I did over the summer, we played in the CSU camp, played in the Girls Inc. League with Mike Woods, them guys over there. So we have some kids that we know will be on the team, but we still got to get the other kids an opportunity to try out. So, maybe hopefully we can find another diamond in the rough with these tryouts today and tomorrow. So, yeah. With
the tryouts coming up, I know that we're going to be celebrating you as well as their championship that you won, Coach, next week. In fact, 1 week from today. And again, you have your official invite to the 18th Annual Sportsvisions High School Football Awards Luncheon presented by Aflac. So look forward to, and I'll be talking to you a little bit later today. I'll drop you a text and give you all the details so that you can make the necessary arrangements with whoever your administrators are to make sure that you're there on the scene.
All right, will do.
All right. Before I let you go, though, I got to ask you with regards to, the next phase. Excuse me, the next phase of this process. You won the game last night. You took care of business. What type of celebrations are in store for the school, or that's a part of the planning that you and the principal will still have to get done?
Yeah, I'll get with Mr. Hughes. He's our assistant principal here over at Rockchild, and we'll sit down and we'll come up with some ideas. They pretty much have everything planned out for us. I guess he just want to get my insight on things, but they pretty much handling everything. They just told me, "Hey, coach, you coach football. Hey, let us do the other stuff." So hey,
yeah,
I'll let them do that.
Before you go, Coach, again, I want you to have an opportunity to have 60 seconds, 30 seconds, however long it is, for you to thank all the supporters, all the alumni, all the former Lettermen that, of course, support the Rock Boys.
Hey, guys. Hey, all the phone calls, text message from everyone. I know I probably won't be able to respond to everyone individual, but I want to thank y'all guys for the support, not only from the Rockchild family, but the community, the Aaron Cone family. Hey, guys, it was all worth it. Hey, we showed the city, we showed the community, we showed everybody what it's all about, which is the kids. Thank you.
Coach
Thanks,
West,
Coach.
Congratulations, man, and have a great rest of your morning, man.
Congratulations again,
You
Coach.
are now a champion.
Thank you.
All right, take care, bud. Man, I tell you, you know what? It couldn't happen until a nicer guy.
Yeah, great job, and what a game last night, 14-8. Unbelievable.
He put everybody on notice, man. He let you know that anything is possible, and I know that everybody pretty much had already packaged that championship and shipped it up the road to Aaron Cone. But I tell you what, not on the watch of Coach Corey West. And again, you see the class there that as I gave him an opportunity to speak about Coach Stalin, and again, mutual respect with each other, man, that's what it's all about. You go out and let your kids, do their thing on the field. But at the end of the day, and once a coach has prepared his team, you know what, you go out and do what you do. And again, whoever wins, and whoever loses, it's unfortunate, but they have still mutual respect for each other.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what it's about. It's about the kids. And I was learning last night that a lot of these kids played with each other with the Eastway Cherokees. And so then they've had to go to two different schools, and they're facing off against each other, and they're back to being boys again. So I love stuff like that, man.
I don't know what I was expecting, Thrift, but I saw some horrendous blows in that, defensive players hit. I mean, just crushing guys. I mean, it was, you thought you were watching a high school game.
I don't know what they're doing.
Tackling these guys, running. I mean, it was a great game. And again, I'm sure if you haven't had the opportunity to see the game and you want to see the game, please tell them how they can do that.
Yeah, and then go to our Georgia Alabama Sports Live YouTube channel and Facebook page. Go back and rewatch it. It was a ton of fun, and it'll be on there for the forever. It'll never be deleted. Facebook may take it down because Facebook's weird, but YouTube's going to have it up forever. And man, we had a lot of fun there last night. It was freezing cold, but it lived up to the hype. More and more people kept coming in, and glad that we were able to be a part of it.
And of course, as I said earlier in the show, man, just think about these kids, these 6th, 7th, 8th graders that have the experience of winning a championship and playing in that game, 15, 20, 30, 40 years from now, they can go back and have an opportunity, to watch these games, to show it to their kids, to show it to their organizations, their families. I mean, this is the way it's supposed to be done. Because I know, as I mentioned to you yesterday, Thrift, guys back from my era, and not your era, because you're half my age. But guys can say, well, you remember I was an All-American and so on. And you know what?
That's what I'm about to say. Now they can't lie no more.
They can't lie no more. You can say, oh, really? Oh, really? But now you got receipts.
Listen, my favorite thing is when I talk to someone like, yeah, man, I was killing it and it's my knee. And it's always the knee. The knee is such bad injury, man. It somehow, some way follows people, but I'm with you. No more lying. The guy that was on the bench and then he's telling his grandkids, man, I remember when I played with Rothschild, won a city championship, they pull up the game like, Granddad, you weren't even playing. You were on the bench the whole time.
Absolutely. But yeah, thank God for technology, man. Thank God for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thank God for the Sportsvisions morning show that we get the opportunity to, of course, broadcast, or at least, interview these coaches so that you can see the side of them that you will probably never see anywhere else. These guys are hardworking gentlemen. Of course, both of the coaches in last night's game were both ex-military guys.
Yeah, discipline.
And you can see that their mantra was all about discipline. And I love that because we do need that with our young people today.
I completely agree. Both these guys are great leaders of young men. I cannot say it enough. I know it's about wins and losses and how good your kid's getting. No, it's about being around men who know how to carry themselves, how to handle their emotions. This is a crucial time as kids are, especially young boys, going through puberty. They're about to hit high school. Their brains are starting to formulate on how they care about things. And so that is why I think middle school coaches are more important almost than high school coaches, because of that time period right there, man. And so I think what Coach Corey West and Chris Stalling do is an amazing. They're both great coaches and great leaders. And glad that they were able to have a great game last night.
Once again, congratulations to Rothschild Falcons head football coach Corey West on the citywide middle school football championship. Coming up in just a little bit, don't go anywhere. I'm going to tease you. I got to give you some information here. He's a graduate of Thomasville High School in 1977, Georgia State University in 81, 40 years that he's been in the sporting goods business. Of course, 20 of those years with Reebok. And, of course, he had a number of other years in retail locations. He was a youth deputy director in Thomasville Rotary Club, a board member of Thomasville. And, of course, when you're talking about the Thomas County, how can I say this? The Thomas County Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Yep. That's right. He's a Hall of Famer as well. And this guy has done a tremendous stuff, including he's an umpire and a scorekeeper. I mean, still just busy. You say, well, what does that mean, DJ? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a guy that you might not know, but I guarantee you there's a lot of coaches in and around this region that know Sweet Lou Nunnally. Yeah. And again, we're going to have an opportunity to introduce him to the Sportsvisions Nation coming up in just a little bit. Actually, Coach Kinsey is going to be coming up first, but then we're going to introduce Lou a little bit later at 8:30. But Coach Michael Kinsey, who is the flag football coach of Harris County.
Yes.
He's going to be with us in just a little bit.
Yep. And first season already has his team top 10 in the state and trying to win a state championship. Those Harris County Lady Tigers who host matches tonight.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. And congratulations once again to back to back.
Let go.
St. Anne's Pacelli Vikings, Lady Vikings.
Four
in a row. And then, of course, our Central Red Devils back to back, man. Of course, Coach Mitchell Holt over there. We appreciate you. And again, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Catch live coverage of the SEC Championship game between the Georgia Bulldogs and Alabama Crimson Tide this Saturday on Sports Visions 92.1. Brought to you locally by Kinetic Credit Union, Yates Insurance, and Pete's Eurotech.
Attorney advertising, Georgia. Attorney 770, good law car accident lawyers. Pay after dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
I get a call from my wife. She tell me she just seen the dog on TV. I'm like, what dog? She said, Top Dog. He was on TV. I said, what was he doing? He was walking around. He tried to bite somebody. I'm like, what? She said it was a commercial on TV. They actually showed the dog. It was Top Dog. I know what I seen. I'm not seeing things. I know what I seen. He was big, very aggressive. He was fast. That was Top Dog. That was Top Dog. Bit one of them insurance companies. I seen it. It was was on TV. I'm convinced now. If I get into an accident, that's who I'm calling. Should have seen the dog. Very big, very scary, very scary. Any accident, you make the call. You call the dog. You call the dog. Top Dog Law.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221 DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1, the only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Thank you, Thrift. You, of course, you're putting us in that mood, man. In Christmas mood. Again, it's only a few days away.
Go look it up right now. DJ, you could sing like him too. Michael Bublé. And you and Miss Candy get some hot chocolate, get that fire going, and listen to Bublé.
I tell you what, I love Michael Bublé and his I love the genre of music. But again, when you're talking about interviewing coaches that are getting ready to go to a championship or have opportunity to go to the next level,
He's not fired up right now with this.
You got that energy in the room, man. Can you put us something on real quick right here just to kind of transition in before we get? Yeah, there we go.
Ain't no stopping us now. Ain't no stopping Harris
Coach,
County.
I got you, Coach. I got you, buddy. Put him up right now. Please welcome
Love
to the Visions Morning Show, Coach Michael Kinsey from Harris County. How are you, man?
Hello, doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. I just wanted, again, Thrift, Thrift usually is on top of all that, but he just loves that poopla guy that sings. And I had to get him right, man. But you got a big game today, man. And I wanted you to have high energy starting right now, man. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, big game today. Super excited. Girls are locked in. I think we're ready, man.
You know what? Before we get into the heavy lifting, I wanted to make sure that the people out there that didn't know you, and I know you're new in town with Harris County, but why don't you go ahead and give us a little background information on, where you went to school, what community you grew up in, and who poured into you to get to this point here?
Yeah, I actually grew up in Columbus. My dad was military, so I was a military brat. We went right from Benning into Columbus. Grew up there in the Benning Hills area. Ended up at Columbus High School, graduated there as a Blue Devil, and, went to Columbus State. So, just been in the area pretty much my whole life. Ended up in the LaGrange area. I've been at Harris County now as a teacher for about 15 years. Did most of that so far at the middle school, so coaching middle school sports, little high school. And, now I've been at the high school full-time for 3 years now. 3 years as the head girls soccer coach, and this was I just got the job this summer as the flag football coach.
Awesome, coach. And but I gotta wait. We gotta start this with shout out Rick Beach, my guy. Love him. Kudzu, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. He was like, hey man, you gotta get Coach Kinsey on, and I'm glad that we're able to do that here today. What got you involved with flag football, though, man? I know you're a great soccer coach. You got a great soccer program, but why'd you want to take on this endeavor with the flag football program?
Well, I've got I don't want to say extensive, but I've coached tackle football for over a decade. So I knew that part of the game. I understand the offensive side of the ball pretty well. Thank God I got a good defensive coordinator, because that part of it, it gives me a little trouble. But I saw flag. I played flag for about 4 years in intramural leagues, and I got to put our offense together there. And it's just, I'm a Gator fan. Don't hold that against me.
Oh no!
But the head ball coach with the visor, man, the fun and gun. I love slinging it around, getting creative. Just having a little fun, and we definitely got the girl under center to do it.
Coach, I'm glad you brought that up, because again, during a pre-show, I was talking to the guys about having an opportunity, because again, it's no secret that we've got some of the most celebrated flag football teams in America right here in this community. When you talk about what Central has done over in Phoenix City, and of course, St. Anne Pacelli.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I was wondering, I was like, is this like street ball, or is it a planned deal? Do these guys have schemes? Do they have what is it as a coach on this level? is it fair to think to say that you guys watch film and you game plan and you have a system, an offensive system that you're locked into? Explain how that works in flag football with the ladies.
Yeah, well, man, sometimes I had a high school. I was an assistant for a high school coach, and he made it real simple. He said, "Man, sometimes it's as simple as throwing it where they're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to attack the athlete. Sometimes you got to go away from them. And so what you do, just like with any sport, you look to see based on your strengths and how you can capitalize on what you're able to do based on maybe things they don't do that well or things they're missing." And then, in the game, it comes down to adjustments. You never really know what they're going to throw at you until you get in the game. And then, sometimes best laid plans go right out the window. So, yeah, we scheme, we plan, we watch film. I mean, God, as soon as the playoffs hit, man, it was a constant email fest of, hey, can you share film? Can you share film? With everybody. So, yeah, coaches, we've got some pretty good coaches in this flag community. And, they're legit. It's not just show up and stand around for an hour and then send the girls home. They plan, they game plan, they practice, they do off season workouts and off season things. So yeah, fastest growing sport in America right now, and I'd put our coaches in Georgia up against any coaches in the country.
Madison Cricket Cawley. That's what I want to say. You talked about the girl under center. 75 touchdowns. That's just this year. That's not in her career.
75
That's
touchdowns.
just this year. Okay.
Get out of here.
I'm calling Coach Kinsey the old ball coach of flag football because he just throws it all over the place, man. But talk about her as an athlete. There's not a sport she doesn't pick up that she's not good at. Starts for the basketball team, great softball player. She is just phenomenal at everything she picks up, but she is just God-given at the quarterback position. Also, another 800 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. What has she meant to you and Harris County and leading this program?
I got to tell you, with a girl like that, gave that girl some structure this year. And she's a sponge, man, and she soaks it up. She wants to learn. She wants to get better. She listens. She doesn't make excuses. When you give her corrections, she says, yes, sir. And not only does she say, yes, sir, she actively works to fix and implement that instruction that you give her. But I got to tell you, and I've said it before, the most impressive thing about this girl to me is if you watch her play, you'll go, wow. I can say, and this is no disrespect to anybody else in the state, because there are some phenomenal flag football players. We've played some great teams, man. We've played Milton, Blessed Trinity, McEachern, right? These are state championship caliber programs. So they've got really good players. But what I'll tell you is, apologize, our school's doing the pledge right now.
It's okay.
What I will tell you, though, is she's a phenomenal teammate. This girl is she's a leader, man. She's a consummate leader. She looks to build her teammates up. She's always, here's a senior who has people chasing her from all over the country to come play at their programs. And this girl is over on the side working with our freshman quarterback, trying to get her better. She's working with her receivers, and a lot of her success has a lot to do with the relationship she has with her teammates. She's just a great teammate. We got some studs like Pearson, Cadence, Hannah, that she's throwing the ball to, but just how many people get along well with somebody that's just a jerk and it creates conflict on the team and the team doesn't click. This girl's she's an amazing person, and I think that's what makes her the athlete that she is.
Coach Kinsey is our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions morning show. And Coach, but bottom line is, I want you to tell us what you got to do to come away with a state championship in this week.
We got to stay locked in, man. There's some really good teams in our division that we're going to play that we'll see. There's out of the top 20, 25 programs in the state, according to Max Preps, there's 10 or something in our division, or 7, 8 in our division, something like that. Almost said 6, 7. But we've got some really good teams in our division, and at this point, man, it's win or go home, and any of these teams can step up and hit us in the mouth, and so we got to be ready, we got to be locked in, and we got to play. As good as our girls are, no one cares, right? These girls aren't coming when we play them and they're not going, oh my God, that's cricket, we can't. No, they're probably going to go, hey, that's cricket, let's go. They're going to be, they're going to step up for the game. We got to step up too. and we've got to play, and we got to be ready to go out there and battle. And I tell my girls all the time, which wolf wins, right? And whichever one we feed. And so we're just looking to try to feed the right wolf to go out there and have that pit bull mentality and just attack the day. And when it comes down to the nitty gritty, man, you don't call plays, you call players.
Yeah.
And I think we've got the players to do it. And if we stay locked in, we'll be hopefully we'll be a real competitive team in these playoffs.
Man, I do something in the water up there with Harris County between the softball program, the girls basketball program, volleyball program had a great year this year. Obviously, girls soccer. It seems like every girls sport is really good. The boys are good too, but the girls are at a level of state championship like we were talking about with your flag team. What is it? Why is that so dominant on the girls' side of the sports for Harris County?
Well, I got to tell you, man, we got some hungry young ladies up here. They want to win. They want to compete. They're not scared. They're not soft. They're coachable. They want to learn. And, most importantly, there was a time here where, not to step on any toes, but, there was a time here where girls were leaving the county to go to other schools. And, we've been able to retain girls here. And that has a lot to do with it. And, they're staying because, look at the caliber of coaches that we have up here. Yeah, I coach soccer and flag here, but look at what Coach Jenkins is doing with that softball team, man.
Yeah.
That dude might be, I talk to him and pick his brain as much as I can. That dude might be one of the best coaches, we've had in school history. Then Coach Mobley doing good things, great things with the volleyball. And what Coach Ram's been doing with basketball for a while. It's just we've got a lot of good people in place. Our administration has done a really good job of getting the right people on the bus, right? Got to get the wrong people off the bus, get the right people on the bus, and then let's go. And we've just got some really good coaches here, and not to take anything away from the athletes, we got girls who are willing to work and be dialed in and get better, and that's a huge plus. Because I'm not taking any snaps out there. I'd make a really ugly girl. They'd know immediately that I was not a player.
Well, Coach Kinsey, before we let you go, obviously, on a lighter note, Columbus Blue Devils won 7 games. Bob Peters turned the program around here, and they have done really well. I know that you said that you were a Columbus Blue Devil. You got to be happy. I know you've been keeping at least one ear listening to what's been going on over with the Blue Devils. Yeah,
man, just try to – it's one of those things that's kind of tongue-in-cheek because, they're a big rival of ours as well. When it's your alma mater and they do well, you can kind of go, yay. We always want to beat them, but but it's one of those things where, yeah, absolutely. The Columbus has been a big part of my life, man, from high school to my first real job down there at WRBL. I actually worked with you for a hot minute.
What?
Yeah, man.
Oh, Mike. You know what?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Help me. Refresh my memory.
Yeah, well, I started there when Reese Davis was still the guy.
Okay.
I did my senior project, and he left, and then Billy, I can't remember Billy's last name.
I know who you're talking about.
Took over. He ended up leaving. You came in right at the end before I went up to Chattanooga to work at WTVC.
Okay.
So I was there for a hot minute with you. Not a long time.
Now, I had a few collisions, so forgive me for not being able to remember that right off. I tell Cliff that all the time.
I remember that. I got to drive you around right after one going to a store. And I remember you had your hands on the dash, man.
Love it, man. Coach, I do got to, before we let you go, we got to talk about what makes Harris County so special. You've been there for 15 years, man. There's just something about that tight-knit community, and you got to shout out your coaches that help you this year. And don't ever forget, you can go watch them play tonight at Danny Durham Field, first and second round, if they're able to win that first round. But go ahead and talk about what makes County special and your assistant coaches.
Well, it's the people and it's the atmosphere, man. It starts with our administration. To the people that hired me when I first started here, that had faith in me. Because, you're bringing someone into your school system to be around your kids. That's a big deal. And so it was an honor when they offered me employment here a long time ago. And so, it starts at the top. We've been real fortunate with superintendents. We've got an amazing one right now. Our board members are amazing. The people in this community care about the community. And that makes a huge difference in the way things play out. And with that welcoming atmosphere, man, you're just happy to be here and be a part of it. And I've been super fortunate. It's funny because, the head coach is the one, you get all the blame when you lose, you get all the praise when you win. But the funny thing is, behind the scenes, man, I'm nothing if it's not for these coaches I have with me. You mentioned soccer earlier. Soccer program's getting better because, I've got Coach Garrett, who's gone now, helped me build that. Coach Hetzel, Coach Tabler's here now. And they're keeping everything running while I'm doing flag, with the soccer conditioning on the side. And then at flag, man, Coach Colley, our D coordinator, Coach Beach, Coach Davis, like these are super reliable coaches who it's great to be able to say, hey, go work on this and know that it's going to be taken care of. When there's issues on the sidelines, I know I got coaches working on it. I can focus on this because I know they got it. And, it's great having these extra set of eyes and people who know the game this well. There's been times this year where one of the coaches just kind of eased over to me and said, Coach, that girl looks like she's cheating a lot. We got to hit him right there. And I'm like, hey, man, that's a great get. And, let's go attack that. So, yeah, I'm nothing. There's no way, even with the phenomenal athletes that we have, I couldn't do it by myself. There's to do everything right. And I'm not saying we do everything right. We try, but to do it efficiently and effectively, to create that standard, because that's my whole ideal behind this, is to create that standard. And then when everyone comes in and they work to that standard, that's how you have a competitive program that's a high achieving program. Because high achieving people don't like mediocre people. Mediocre people don't like high achieving people. You got to have everybody buy into that same standard, and having coaches along there to help you do that, I mean, it's big. So you got to have trust in your coaches, and it's great that I have coaches I can trust. They want to be here. They're passionate. They're excited. It's fun to watch them get hype on the sidelines. It gets me hyped. Watch the girls get hyped. They feed off that,
right?
And it's what we want, and it's what we've got here, and it's a culture that's, man, it's contagious, and it's what's spreading through the county. I mean, come watch our programs play. I mean, even our boys teams, up year, down year. I mean, these coaches are making a difference here, and it's just fun to be a part of that. It's fun to be one small piece in that big cog.
Coach Kinsey, we certainly appreciate you, of course, getting to know the Sports Visions Nation this morning. Hey, look, man, good luck this evening, and, of course, have a great rest of your morning.
Hey, thank you all very much, and go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Coach.
Right. Coach Michael Kinsey, man, yep. WRBL, boy, he took me back a few years.
I mean, we dropped some nuggets right there. That's exactly why we have guys like him on.
Yeah.
He's got a great program, and if you want to see the incredible cricket, Colley and her and Pearson Pettit in that team tonight, they play at Danny Durham Field first and second round.
Hey, I teased Lou a little earlier with, of course, all the great background information that he has. But I tell you what, coming out of this break, come close. Lou Nunnally will be up.
Lou
on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Don't you blame it.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. 32-year-old Marquez Holloway, a repeat offender, faces a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison after he was found guilty of one count of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute methamphetamine, cocaine, and marijuana. Meanwhile, more police officers in Columbus are on patrol this holiday season as an effort to hold back crime in the city. Police reportedly say there is a 27% decrease in violent crimes year to date. In Alabama, state leaders are speaking out about the denied proposed plan to relocate the Islamic Academy of Alabama. The academy says the plans were unrelated to zoning and reflect harmful stereotypes. The academy remains open to continue dialogue regarding traffic safety and land use concerns. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Thursday morning. We're off to an overcast and cold start to the day. Those temperatures hovering in the mid to low 30s. The rain returns today, keeping afternoon temperatures limited to near 50 degrees. Tonight, those showers will continue, lows falling into the 40s. And guess what? More rain in the forecast for your Friday. Some of the showers could be heavy at times, and we'll keep the rain in the forecast for Saturday before it starts to slowly taper off by late Sunday. More sun, though, in the extended forecast.
Yates Insurance, a full-service employer and executive benefits firm offering tailored solutions. Founded on the principle of customer service and a commitment to your goals. Grown by building on experience and eagerness to explore new benefit options. Property casualty, your insurance needs, and HR service solutions for your company. Your benefit plan affects the health and prosperity of your employees and your company. At Yates Insurance, you get expertly crafted plans to meet your needs. Plan design and implementation. Yates Insurance, your benefit partner. Visit yatesins.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey folks, I want to invite you out to Friendly, Bratton Automotive, where everybody leaves with a smile. You know, we stack them deep and sell them cheap. But the most important thing is you, the customer. Let me prove to you today that our customer service is number one. We have the financing and we have the deals that nobody can beat. The home of the low down payment, the home of the low payment. Come see me today and I will make you smile.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. One of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Good Thursday morning. We appreciate the fact that we're able to help you get your day started. All we want you to do is to tell a friend, to tell a friend that the Sportsvisions Morning Show is on the air right now. Thrift, we got a lot of guys that have been shouting us out and, of course, integrating into engaging with us on our chat. So I want you to shout those folks out if you would.
And this Christmas,
you got to stop doing this. You're terrible, man. I wish you would. You got to stop it.
I'm sorry. I need it. It just gets in my blood. I need to sing.
Hey, man,
I
love your spirit, but the singing part of it, I can't take. I can't take. And you know what? I'm speaking on behalf of the Sports Vision.
Listen, everybody's texting you.
They've got getting the day started.
They just turned us down.
And then this guy comes on with this. Okay. Anyway,
shout out Ricky Raj says, "Welcome to Thursday." Also, shout out to our guy, Benjamin Watson. Good morning, guys. You need to try to get Central Flag Football quarterback Mariah Harrison on the show. She is awesome. In the championship game, Harrison had 323 total yards and 5 touchdowns. Stanley Crowell says, good morning. And as he always says, get through it, do what you need to do, and keep going. Enlightening, educating, and inspiring, and entertaining. He loves those 4 words on him. Big Stan. Bobby Brown, Central Girls Flag back-to-back, not only state last year, but number 1 in the nation. And they're probably going to be back-to-back champs this year. Jeremy Howard says, Benjamin Watson, she bad. Talking about the quarterback from Central, Mariah Harrison. David Boyd says, by the way, GHSA, and they has their cheerleading game day state championships going on. 8,000 plus cheerleaders, families, and fans in town over the next 2 days for that competition. Our guy, Corey Black, says, congrats to Corey West from Rothschild. J.R. Zonning, good morning, brothers. Be blessed and be blissful. And congratulations to Rothschild. And then, of course, our coach, Coach Corey Black, who I think is in San Ann says, love Lou Nunnally, helped me so much, and has much respect for him. So looking forward to talking to Big Lou.
Absolutely. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him up because I teased him a little earlier before we had
There he is.
Coach Kinsey on. But I want to welcome to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, Lou Nunnally. How you doing, Lou?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, glad to have you here, man. You're a legend. You know that, I'm sure, but I know you're so humble. You know that Thomasville in you, they wouldn't let you come up. They wouldn't raise you up. They slapped you on the back of your head if you got outside of yourself. But a lot of people, you've helped a lot of people. You've helped change a lot of people's lives, man. Of course, I know you've certainly helped a lot of these coaches with their budgets and whatnot. But I introduced you a couple of different times. Most recently, a few minutes ago when I was telling everybody about all the great accolades, of course, of you being a Hall of Famer. But, as a sports marketing and equipment consultant, I'll put that major label over the top, man, people don't realize how important people like you and people like, the folks that help these coaches, buy equipment, select, make these choices and recommend brands. You did this with Reebok for 20 years and altogether over damn near 50 years, man. How does it feel now looking from, I guess, the outside, looking back in and where, of course, all the technology started to what it is now, from all the customer service back when you were doing it to what's happening now? And again, just speak to, of course, the business in the industry today.
Man, it was a long and a lot of fun and a lot of different things that we went through in the 40 years that I did it. But a lot of changes, as you mentioned, as we see in anything. I think that what a lot of people don't realize is it literally was a 24/7 job. You had to be by your phone all the time because coaches that they don't live on a clock. They when they need something, they pick up the phone and call you, and they expect you to take care of it. And certainly my philosophy was to take care of them. We feel like it both at Reebok and my later employer BSN Sports. We worked hard to take care of coaches, get them what they needed, get it to them on time. You deal with so many factors when somebody places an order in the sporting goods industry. So many people touch that order that you're amazed that everything can go right as much as it does. But it was a great career. I still enjoy being around it as much as I can. Know a lot of folks that are still kind of doing it, and it's just been something that I really enjoyed for a lot of years.
Lou, I know that, again, you love what you were doing and you were great at it. However, again, getting to that point, and again, and as we were catching up the other day, I was sharing with you that I use this platform to talk about games and players and stats and all that stuff. But I talk about life, man. And again, how, you can get ahead in this business without playing. And you have done quite well and have met the movers and shakers in the industry, some of the best and brightest professional athletes and collegiate athletes in America through your association in this business. But for the kids out there, or for the people that are listening, and talk a little bit about, again, how fortunate you were in this business and some of the people and some of the places that you were able to travel as you made a way in the sporting goods business.
Well, I'll start by telling you that I got my start right out of Georgia State in Atlanta, where I lived for 40 years before moving back home to Thomasville 8 years ago. But I got my start in Cumberland Mall working for a retailer, the Athlete's Foot.
I know that place.
And, worked for them for 5 years, kind of put in my dues, if you will, working those Saturdays and Sundays and evenings and a lot of hours. And and at the end of 5 years, I was able to meet all the manufacturers reps, and one of them being the Reebok rep, and got hired by them. But so paying your dues, first and foremost, and I'm sure a lot of that has changed these days, but certainly back in the day, paying your dues was very important. Getting some time in to learn about the craft that you would then have become your career. And so moving on to Reebok. Yeah, I was with Reebok in the glory days, the 80s, the 90s, and up until 2005, I was able to work in team sales and marketing, and was in there with the Allen Iverson era and the Shaq era and the Dominique era and John Smoltz and Greg Norman and Doc Rivers and a lot of folks that Peyton Manning. So we really had a great run during those times when people still went to the mall to buy footwear, to buy apparel. Not so much these days, I don't think, but it was a good run and had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say something, DJ. But Lou, when you got into that aspect in your relationship with the coaches, I have had to learn that the hard way as well as I do with the streaming and the stuff we do here with DJ and the radio show. And they always are expecting things. They expect you to answer the phone. How important is it, though, that, lay boundaries, saying I'm going to try my hardest to do something, but in the end, if I can do it, it shouldn't affect our relationship. Talk about that aspect of it, because you do become real good friends with them, and then you got to make a tough decision like, hey, I can't broadcast this game. We got too much going on, and you don't want them upset at you. How did you be able to handle that all these years?
Well, you're right, Thrift, and I did my best, and I know my team, we all tried to be very upfront, very honest, because there were times when we'd have to say, I can't get you that. And, when I look at the Columbus market, I mean, I was so fortunate to going all the way back to Herbert Green at Columbus State and Bobby Howard at Columbus, and later, had Tim, Coach Fanning over at Gunwood, and more recently, Corey Black and others that I had the privilege to work with, and not a single one of them would be able to tell you that we got it right every single time. We tried to be honest with them. We were honest with them. We, for the most part, we got things delivered to them on time, what they wanted. But the times that maybe we would come up a little short because of a FedEx delivery got lost, or a supply chain issue, certainly during COVID was very challenging. We just had to be honest with folks, and I think over the course of my career, we were lucky enough to, for the most part, have customers that understood that, were very fair about that, and appreciated what you did for them when it was all said and done.
Lou Nunnally is our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions morning show. And Lou, again, let's fast forward to today. We knew what work you put in, again, the grassroots, back in the day, and building the relationships and all. But today, post, Allen Iverson, of course, even Shaquille O'Neal. But Shaquille O'Neal, from what I understand, is running the business, and he has hired Allen Iverson. I mean, again, is that more marketing and promotions, or is that real business with Reebok?
Well, I'm not that close to that situation, but I will tell you this: the Reebok's been through a couple of ownership groups since I left, but the president of Reebok was actually our basketball product manager, Todd Kinsey. He is now the president, so he worked with Shaq back in the day, and now he's the president of Reebok. And there was a documentary, recently about that. Some of you may have seen it. And Shaq hired Allen Iverson, and they run our basketball division. I say Reebok's basketball division. And, Reebok's been off the map a little bit in terms of basketball for a number of years, and trying to make a comeback with a lot of things there. And so, they're trying to bring that back, and it's business, man. They're up and at them and getting after it pretty good. So it's been a lot of curiosity for me to take a peek at that.
I know that you've been retired and you've pushed back, but those relationships, as you were explaining before, have, of course, landed you some wonderful opportunities and some wonderful accolades, if you will, that you're back in Thomasville, again, a town with so many rich athletes. And of course, You have also been tasked to, of course, found or at least start something down in your hometown of Thomasville that a lot of folks are proud of. A lot of folks, even outside of Thomasville, with regards to athletics and the museum that was started there.
Yeah, January 24. So going on 2 years ago, actually, it doesn't seem that much, but we were going through a big campus renovation at Thomasville High School. And part of that was obviously a new field house for our football program. And within that, long story short, I was asked and tasked with the idea of creating, designing, curating a history of Thomasville High football museum. And one thing led to another. We've been playing football since 1914 with a lot of rich history and state championships, one national championship, 14, 15 pro players, etc. So on we went, and it's still going today. We actually have the grand opening or the ribbon cutting, I should say, of the campus renovation is coming Monday, and it'll really be the first time that the history of Thomasville High Football Museum will be open to the public, other than private tours that I've been doing for the last year and a half. And it's been amazing. It's been an absolute labor of love to connect back with 100 years of families that have been involved with Thomasville High football. So we've had a lot of fun with that.
That's awesome, man. I love being able to hear that. I want to go back to the sporting goods part of it. Reebok was the kingpin, and now you see Nike's ahead of the pack, but Adidas is making a comeback. Under Armour, I know you said Reebok's trying to on the up and come up. What dictates that? Is it because of NBA and the NFL and these colleges wanting to sign with Nike? Like, how does it fluctuate on which company was the best? Why did Nike all of a sudden overcome and become the number one conglomerate over the years?
Well, as the story goes, it's pretty simple. A guy by the name of Michael Jordan, back right before they signed Jordan, back in the early 80s out of North Carolina, we had just taken over the number one spot, we being Reebok, as an aerobic shoe company, a fitness brand. And we had a short run at number one, and then they signed Nike. Nike signed Michael Jordan, and man, that thing just took off. They were a running company, known as a running company for the years they had been around. And when they signed Jordan, it just took off. And then later on, they created the Jordan brand, and certainly now they are, certainly by far the top sporting goods company in the world. With when you combine the Jordan brand and Nike together, it's really kind of off the charts. It's an amazing story, and if you're into that type of thing, reading the Phil Knight books and the books about Nike is pretty cool to read about their history.
Lou, I want to take you back to, again, what we were saying with regards to, all the great athletes and, of course, the museum. But, Columbus is very similar. We have a lot of athletes, a lot of, former collegiate athletes, professional athletes. Again, so I'm really intrigued by what you're saying and how that all got started. But I do know one thing is for sure, is that you have to have resources and you have to have money. And the fundraising portion of that, will you please let us know again, because you're talking about, redoing the school and building a museum and archiving all of this information. But, that it takes money to do that.
Yeah, it does. And, one of the things that I was tasked with was, we've got over 25 display cases. We've got over 500 pictures framed from poster size and above to down to 8 by 10s and even 5 by 7. So we had to raise money at the museum, and schools have to obviously raise money to get their equipment and that type of thing. We work with a lot of booster clubs in my day in team sales, and certainly when I retired and got doing the museum, I put out a thing called 100 for 100, $100 for the 100 years that Thomasville had been playing football. And we tried to get at least 100 people to donate $100. And thankfully, we got more than that. And we were able to go out and get those display cases and get those frames and get those a lot of prints enlarged of. We've got a pro football wall where we've got all of our pro football players' jerseys signed in big shadow boxes and that type of thing. And it takes money. It takes people willing to enroll in the project that you're doing, whether it be your high school team, or in this case, whether it be a football museum. And you're right. Thomasville is rich in history, and people lined up to be a part of donating artifacts. I mean, we've got items from the 20s, the 30s, leather jackets, jerseys, cleats, helmets. We've got so many things that people had in their attics that didn't even know they had. Their grandfather, their great grandfather, etc. So I'm very fortunate to belong to a community that takes their sports very central, whether it be my high school, Thomasville High, or our rival, Thomas County Central, who is a nationally ranked program that's on a nice run as well right now too. So a great community for high school sports.
I want to name drop, if I can, about your hometown. I know that I have some near and dear friends that from there. Guy McIntyre, my former teammate at the University of Georgia, went on to play in the National Football League, and of course, many Super Bowls with Joe Montana. Charlie Ward, the Heisman Trophy winner, again, New York Knickerbocker, played many years down at Florida State as a quarterback. And then, of course, he is the athletic director at Temple University right now. And I'm talking about, Arthur Johnson. Yep. But go ahead and enlighten us on some of the other folks that, might be of note to some of our listeners.
Well, got both Guy and William Andrews. William 2 years ahead of me, Guy 2 years behind me. We all played basketball together. I played with Guy for 2 years, and I played with William for 2 years. I was kind of sandwiched in the middle. And
nice.
And Eric Curry, All-American at Alabama, first round draft pick. Certainly quite a few guys. We've had NBA players. We've had Major League Baseball players. We've had 14 NFL players. And pro football players, whether it be CFL or USFL, and but Guy and William, and certainly across down the street there, Charlie Ward. His dad's a good friend of mine. I don't necessarily know Charlie Jr., but I know his father real well, who's a iconic legend here in town, and as a former coach and player at Florida A&M, et cetera. So we do have to be a town of 19,000 and a county of 35,000. We've got quite a few folks that have gone on and had a great professional career. And I think about Columbus too. One of y'all's greats was a Reebok guy, Frank Thomas.
Yes.
Was a Reebok guy, and certainly played for Coach Howard. And I really enjoyed that era of working with Coach Howard. Not the Frank Thomas era, but that era when Bobby was just winning state championships all the time and that type of thing. And the whole state, as y'all know better than anybody, when you look at our state and talk about not just football, but basketball and baseball and all the other sports, we are a high school rich sports state to leave no doubt.
Absolutely. Now, again, here we are, you're retired, you're living good, you're back in your hometown, but you're still busy. You're calling games as a referee, umpire, or you're also, a PA announcer. What is it that you're not doing?
Well, that's a great question, man. I try to stay active. I mean, I'm 66 going on 67 years old. It's hard to believe that 70 is right around the corner. And I know you're kind of staring at that too a little bit, although you're a few years younger than me. But
just a little bit.
I just really enjoy being around. Certainly my alma mater. I do the PA announcing and the school board and that type of thing for the softball team, who by the way, was over in Columbus recently, and for the first time ever, they were into the year number 6 in the state in single A. Had a great year. But the things we're doing at Thomasville High, and the things that really all the schools, the 3 schools, the private school, Brookwood and Thomas County and Thomasville, it's not difficult to stay involved with things here in this town. I work with the YMCA, like I said, or like you said, with youth baseball, whether it be umpiring or keeping the school board. And I just like to be around the community. I work in the local running shoe store a couple of days a week, and it really allows me to stay connected with the community and see old friends out and about and that type of thing. So, it's a lot of fun to just stay connected.
Well, I know I certainly enjoyed this interview, and a lot of your old friends, including your buddy Corey Black, says that he loves Lou Nunnally, helped him so much, and much love and respect. Again, guys like that and others who are probably listening and not responding. But, man, thank you for being the guy that you have been and helping so many people, and thank you for being my friend.
Well, I thank you guys, man, and it's great to see morning shows and radio shows and podcasts and the thing that you guys are doing in markets like Columbus and other markets. And we appreciate y'all keeping everybody up to date on things that we love. Thank you so much.
Lou, you take care, man, and I'll be in touch real soon, buddy.
Thanks, Lou.
Y'all have a great day.
Have a great rest of your morning. Lou Nunnally, man.
Lubo.
That's an icon, man. I can tell you. You know, you have to have a conversation with Corey Black one day and let him tell you about
Lou,
how much Lou helped him.
Yeah, can't wait to hear it. And Lou, that was excellent. Glad that we were able to do that and talk to him, man.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Tell me the password. Slide City, you know what that means. I'm coming up on you quickly.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. These pills work for men and women to improve their sexual performance. And now for the price of 2 or 3 pills, you can get nearly 100. There's no need to pay expensive prices for Viagra or Cialis. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Change your life for the better and have fun. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
800-288-9657. 800-288-9657. 800-288-9657. Again, that's 800-288-9657.
J. Smith Lanier & Company is now Marshall McLennan Agency. We remain a full-service insurance, retirement, and risk management firm specializing in employee benefits, commercial insurance, surety, and personal insurance. It's our business to be there for you in the moments that matter, as we have for over 150 years, protecting what and who matters most. Marshall McLennan Agency is one of the largest insurance brokerages in the United States, offering high-touch service by trusted local insurance specialists. Located in Brookstone Center Office Park and online at marshmma.com.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Santa?
I've got to get Mrs. Claus a gift or I'm in a whole lot of trouble.
How about a single unlimited line? Only $35, plus a free Moto G5G.
Oh, you're a lifesaver. Here, take a present.
Says it's for Timmy in Des Moines.
Never heard of him.
Join Cricket Nation and get a single line for $35 per month, plus a free Moto G5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Requires activation of new line on select unlimited plan or higher. Pay $40 first month. New lines only. First month service charge. Tax to sale fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Staples presents an easy holiday.
My holiday list was a mile long.
Fa la 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 boo hoo hoo.
Staples made it easy with big savings on tech gifts.
I'm listening.
And I saved big on custom holiday cards, too. Plus, Staples has UPS shipping in store.
Holy flying reindeer. Shop Staples today for 60% off custom cards, invites, wrapping paper, labels, stamps, and photo gifts.
That was easy.
In-store and online expires 12/20. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Stacy, are you wearing yoga pants to go shopping?
Oh, we're not going out shopping. We're staying in with JTV.
I love jewelry television. Their pearls, their lab-grown diamond jewelry.
Oh, hello. What about their Italian gold and moissanite fire?
Okay, but what about the guys on my holiday list?
Relax. JTV has gifts galore, even for men, like watches and sunglasses.
Watch JTV live and on streaming or shop JTV.com for up to 80% off select items.
Ready to shop?
Yes, but can I borrow a pair of sweats?
Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show, the final segment of today's show. Man, I tell you what, Thursday, we're less than 24 hours away from fantastic Friday night. Of course, again, football will have the, of course, Carver Tigers hosting the Burke County, whatever their mascot is. Do you know?
I do not know. I should know that.
Well, again, it probably going to matter because, again, hopefully Carver's going to beat the brakes off of them. But, again, congratulations to all of the state championships or city championships who have won championships over the last week. Again, last night, the Rothschild Falcons, of course, we know them as the Rock Boys, beating up on Aaron Cone, the Bulldogs, yesterday. Again, I say beating up, but I mean, they were beating up on each other. Tough game. Once again, big shout out to Thrift Behringer as well as Coach T-Flow and Richard Holdridge, all on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, the game. If you missed the call, Thrift, where can they find it?
Georgia Alabama Sports Live YouTube channel and Facebook page. And by the way, Burke County Bears.
Burke County Bears.
They're the Bears. And
we're going to turn those Bears into the Cubs.
Coach Stevens has done a great job, though, with Burke County last year. Remember making it to the championship game, and he's been a perennial team that's won 8 or 9 games each season during the regular season, wins a couple playoff matches. Carver's going to have their hands full. Burke County scored 41 on Rockmart last week, and they had that incredible comeback to win the game 41-40. But if Carver does what Carver does, which is go out there and just absolutely dominate, they'll get points off of kick returns, defense, and before you know it, they'll be up by 4 touchdowns.
How bad did the Tigers beat these guys in the state championship?
52-14. Remember, it was like 38-0 at halftime or 28. It was over at halftime. We knew that.
So they should be, they should come in town with a little smoke. They should be feeling a certain type of way. I know Burke County is going, they're not going to. I'm sure the coaches probably played clips of that or either buried it and didn't. Yeah, they haven't seen it, but. I just know that Jarvis Jones over at Carver High School, he has just been phenomenal. And I have, no doubt in my mind that they will continue to play and perform at the heights and levels that they've been doing for this championship run.
100%, man. And Carver Tigers are on a 26-game winning streak. 26 games in a row, DJ.
Yes.
They're trying to get to 28. If they can get to that, that means they're back-to-back state champions. But I've just been so impressed. Seeing Jarvis yesterday, he kind of held down the fort and hosted at the entire signing day and got to see some of his personality. Still quiet, but he'll show some funny stuff and he got all the players their nicknames, and it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, it was great to see that interview as well. And then Jarvis, obviously, when he cleans up well. He looked good in his coat.
He looked fresh.
Again, I look and listen to Jarvis in the interviews. It just blows me away when I think about this, covering this guy, calling his games on the radio, having, state championship parade for the team that Dale McGee won the state title at Carver. Dale Williams and I putting together the parade and the celebration that went down Broadway and into, of course, the rally after the celebration rally into the Civic Center. And now he is the head coach, and he's the leader of these young men. And to hear him, talk and articulate, he just does a great job, in front of the cameras. Of course, he does a great job with his players. But, it's like what Brinson Buckner said. What sums everything up when you're trying to figure out how in the world could a guy in his first year come on the scene and win a state, or at least he's about to win a state championship. I'm going to knock on wood. Hope I don't jinx him. But, and again, I pump the brakes, and I'll tell you that till the cows come home, and I'm still not embarrassed to say that I was really, really wanting to protect Jarvis, because I didn't expect the guy to come in his first year and dominate like that, because he hadn't had a staff. He had to put a staff together. Didn't know the kids.
Nope.
This is his hometown, but he hadn't lived here in 15, 20 years.
It's been a while.
So it's been a long. But he came right in, fit right in perfectly, undefeated at what? Is it 12-0 right now or 13-0?
13-0.
13-0, and again with one game away from being able to go to the big dance. Man, this young man has done a tremendous job.
Unbelievable job, and been impressed with the Carver Tigers all season long. DJ.
We got a few minutes left here, but I do want to say this. We are less than 48 hours against the showdown in the town, the A-town. That's what I'm talking about. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Sportsvisions will be boots on the ground.
I can't wait to see that. It is going to be a Wang Dang Doodle. That's what you like to say.
Wang Dang Doodle. I think I might have. I don't know. Lou might have taught me that. I don't know.
Lou.
But it's going to be great. Again, who gets it this well? You got Carver High School going up against Burke County in the semis on tomorrow, and then the next day for the SEC championship, you got the Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then on Sunday, we got the Seattle Seahawks coming into the bins again to play my Falcons. How about that?
It's going to be a busy, absolutely busy next couple of days. I know you're ready to see your guy Scotty W and getting up there and hanging out and being part of the championship game.
Absolutely. But I thought you were going to cut my knees off from under me when I mentioned the Falcons, because
I just ignored it. You saw I was just ready to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs right now.
But once again, congratulations to Rothschild, the Falcons, man. The city middle school city champions, man, in football. And again, congratulations to Corey West and his team, his coaches, and of course all the alumni and fans and parents, from the Rock Boys. And that's the new name we call it. The Rock. He said every year he has a different kind of mantra for all of his teams. That's marketing and promotions right there.
Rock guys, and then their accountability was the word this year for this team. What a time, what a team, what a game last night, and glad that we were able to be a part of it.
Big ups to all of our guests out there. Matt Stewart from GPB Sports, we appreciate you. Corey West hitting on winning. Of course, congratulations on winning again the city championship in middle school football. Coach Kenny up at Harris County. And again, it's always a treat to meet old friends. And again, I just didn't remember him through. If I did, RLB, WRBL days, that's over 20 years ago, man.
20 years ago, D.
And my man, sweet Lou Nunnally. I tell you, man, it was great catching up with him and looking forward to continuing to talk to him about some things that he's doing and some things that we're going to possibly do together.
Yeah, can't wait to continue on and having him on. And it was great insight by Lou. Glad we got Corey on. Coach Kinsey, amazing job with flag football in Harris County. Another great show on the books, DJ.
Remember, over 1,100 people came out to the game last night. Can that crowd carry over?
Better.
Tomorrow night.
It better, Columbus. You know I'm going to come in on Monday fire hot.
All right, you hear the music. You know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. On behalf of Thrift Barringer, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I need you now. Yeah. I find you, I give you all you need. I know what you like.
You've been listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones.